What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another edition of the Aaron O Show. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't planning on streaming today, but Fatty made me stream, so it's his fault. I was gonna sit back and just chill and hang out in the clouds, okay? Because sometimes we gotta take a day off for relaxation, and I try to take as many off as possible because I like to sleep in the basement and on people's couches. Listen, Respect to everybody else that like to grind and hustle, but me, I am a humble, very, very simple individual. And it's no problem for me to sleep on anyone's couch. So if you ever, invite me over, you don't have to make the guest room or anything like that. Have a nice, medium-sized couch, because I'm only about 5'5", and we good. And we good. So uh, I just want you guys to make sure you keep people in your life that don't take everything from you. There's so many people that take, and they just continue to take. And they don't really add to your life. So I want you to keep people around that add to your life, okay? Reese, what did you own? Late terms, Anthony O'Neill knows it's not possible for everybody 100K. Dude just needs content to talk about. Nice strategy, though. Yeah, that's partly true. But it's actually something I've been telling y'all for the longest. Carly lied. I don't honestly don't care about no dang Carly. She is popular though. Her name is ringing in these YouTube streets, ringing on these Twitter streets. So she popping. But people did send me content on her. Let's be clear. People did send me content on her, but I really don't care for that. I ain't gonna lie to you. BLB, what up? I really don't care for that lady or whatever she is or whatnot. Don't care. We all know whether she's lying or telling the truth. We all have our opinions. So enough of us has spoken about that. And if more details come up, I'll speak later about it. Because I really haven't actually kept up on it, to keep it real with y'all. I have not. So it is what it is, right? But thanks to Fatty, I'm forced to stream on time. Goddamn Fatty. Happy birthday to Team Fatty and all of Portugal's greats, because he is one of the Portugal greats in these YouTube streets. So once again, happy birthday to Team Fatty, okay? But I thought he was going to be streaming for a while, so I was probably going to pull up on his panel when I got off of work. But, he told me to start the stream, so, and I've been going back and forth about what I'm going to stream about, right? Because you guys know I no longer pre-write out my content, right? I just do it all in real time. So I have ideas what I want to talk about, but I don't have a concrete structure. And I might have to go back to a concrete structure, because last show, I have people trying to derail my show all the time. I don't know why. They always trying to derail my show. The level of patience that I try to exude to always hear people out and hear the perspective, because I believe you can learn and hear anything from anyone, is starting to conflict with the show a lot. And so I'm trying to find ways to balance that out. I don't know if I can decrease my level of patience. Just keep it real with you. I don't know. I'm going to possibly try, but I don't know if I can. But earlier today, and well, before we even get into the show, I must acknowledge to the people who are always supporting the show. And of course, the sponsor of the last show, none other than my guy, First Gen Corporation. Shout out to you for holding down the stream. First Gen is he really likes the financial talks. So when I start moving a lot of my content into that direction, and I get off and put more time and effort into that, hopefully he's locked in with that, because he's a real bright individual and he brings a lot of perspective to the conversation. So I will be hopefully being able to lean on him to participate in these conversations. But once again, shout out to First Gen for being a sponsor of the last show. But last show, of course, I tried to get people to think a little differently. They didn't want to. They already have their programming. So after a while, I let people have it, right? I can only beat you over the head in so many ways without letting you see the world for yourself, right? It is what it is. So shout out First Gen. I appreciate you, fam. Now, people been streaming. My brother Cheeky is back. So while I was at work, I was listening in, back and forth, sneaking in here, sneaking in there. Whoa, B.O.B. B.O.B., I didn't say I wasn't going to speak to you either. I was just highlighting First Gen. He's a sponsor of the last show. I always talk about the sponsor of the last show in the beginning of the show. Okay, calm down, Bob. I'm gonna holler at you too. The problem is, I ain't gonna lie, you've been a little toxic lately. You've been a little toxic lately. We've been moving shows, getting these nuisance off the the stream, and then we carry on the fun stuff, and then all of a sudden you say bring these toxic people back. I'm like, Bob, why is you doing this to me? So you've been a little toxic lately. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna have to figure that out. Nightish, what up? You found your night? Yes, my guy. Yeah, bro. You find you tonight and rock out with him, bro. But yeah, great things are to come. Great things are to come. Uh, but I was sitting back watching Cheeky stream, in and out, listening in and out. So I would just catch some moments back and forth, right? And it's a lot of cap going on that show. A lot of people skirting around questions and not trying to answer direct questions, acting like they don't understand English, stuff like that, right? And it's cool, but it boils my skin when I have to sit back because I'm not about to type 100 characters in the chat, right? I do a little bit of trolling in the beginning of the show to show my support, and then I fall back and just watch everything go. But it was some wild stuff going on. And then, of course, I'm watching Anton Morning Show. I usually watch his show while I'm on my way to work. And then I go through the tunnel and then I lose the connection, right? It is what it is. So then I pick back up off after I get off. And then I get into, that process. And then, he brought up Anthony Oneal. And I said, oh, interesting. I said, you know what? I would have loved to talk about that. But busy. He running his show. So we couldn't have a conversation about that. But I said, I could do my own stream about this. And I shall. I absolutely shall. And it's just back and forth. The attack on a lot of people, men specifically, it's just been lately quite aggressive. So I'm here to have those conversations, try to combat certain things. And we're going to highlight certain things, right? Yeah. Where do I begin? Shout out to Timeout. Timeout says, support. I bet Carly won't have any legal problems and her follower count went up. A win is a win. Because we haven't definitively proved her to be guilty. You know what I'm saying? So until we can 100% say she's guilty, well, I shouldn't even say guilty. Until we're 100% sure that she's lying, right? Because most of us are about 99% sure she's possibly lying, right? But until we can definitively say she's a liar, she's going to get the support of people who've been, unfortunately, in a victim situation, and they're holding out hope that it's a possibility that she's, telling the truth. And so more details will come of that. You said guilty of what if she's lying? In the sense of, well, I don't know if they filed a police report, right? So she's probably just lying to the people. It is what it is. Like I said, you be a little patient with these things, and more things will come out into the light. And then after a few days, somebody else gonna get in trouble, and people gonna act like they don't know what happened. Let's just be honest. In a few days, like we had Keke Palmer on top, then all of that went away, right? Oh, wow. Natasha say, I'm 100% sure she's a liar. She's definitely a liar. And so Keke Palmer had her time. Then we moved to somebody else. Listen, guys, 1 week. If you guys make any mistakes, and I don't mean like fatal mistakes. I don't mean like mistakes you're going to go to jail for 100 years, but just mistakes where you piss people off, hurt somebody's feelings, said the wrong thing. Wait a week and say nothing. Don't talk to nobody for 1 week. And I guarantee somebody else will get in trouble and they will overshadow you. Just be quiet. The problem is most people don't know how to be quiet. Be quiet. Shh. Don't talk no more. And I almost guarantee you people will leave you alone. But if you run your mouth trying to hide like you ain't did this and you ain't did that, you keep the eyes on you. You keep the pressure on you. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Now, most of us have trouble with that. T.O. says, happy birthday to Team Fatty. Shout out to the Aaron O Show. Hey, appreciate you, fam. And just shout out to Team Fatty. He been dominating these YouTube streets. And as crazy as it is, man, like I said, I tell people all the time, I think he's gonna do big things. I think he's gonna do big things. And I just love to watch the ride. I'm hoping everybody succeeds. I'm hoping everybody put in the work to do well. But he is definitely somebody that doesn't cheat. He doesn't cheat anybody. He puts in the work. He puts a full show in. If he's tired, he'll put another show in to make up for that. So he's consistently put in the work. He's always trying to adjust his show to make it better and better. And hats off to him. And he an old man now. So welcome to the old man club. No matter what he says, he's an old man. So yeah, shout out to Team Fatty. And like I said, y'all know his show be rocking. Now he getting in trouble a lot because he don't know how to leave people alone. But that's my guy. So it is what it is. JJ, what up? But so I've essentially been thinking about this stuff all day, right? And I haven't been able to go on Cheeky panel because, well, speaking of Cheeky, man, you're gonna have a conversation. I didn't want to necessarily say this on the live, and I didn't actually want to have this conversation on the live, but because I normally talk to my people behind the scenes, right? But I think that we gonna have a small conversation about things, Cheeky. And I don't want you to take this the wrong way, right? But I'm concerned. And I'm not necessarily concerned with like your behavior or things like that, because this is YouTube and people do all kind of crazy things on YouTube. It's just the truth. People do all kind of crazy things on YouTube, and things go back and forth, right? So it's not a YouTube thing that's really that so much of the issue, okay? The issue really comes down to is that every time you come on the streams lately, well, of course, let me make my acknowledgement to Miss Doris. Good evening. Thank you for supporting the water gang. You know me, we gonna stay with the water because the show got to go on. Vanny Rue, my lovely Miss Canada, calm down. I see you, love. Relax. I see you. Please don't start no problems, because when I come to Canada, I'm expecting the middle class treatment, okay? Because even though I'm lower class in Canada, I might get lucky and get some middle class love. So you know how that go. But I see you. But yeah, Cheeky, we gonna. I just want to briefly have this conversation because I am concerned not about your personal well-being, but I'm going to tell you the truth while other people gonna lie to you. I'm concerned about you on a professional level. See, what you've been telling people and what you've been doing behind the scenes when you grinding in real life, hats off to you, but at the end of the day, I'm concerned because what I've noticed is this. You've been working a lot, and now, because of a lot of things that transpired, a lot of things that happened, I think that you, my friend, might be out of a job. You see here?
Somatic is an
They have
autonomous.
got to the point where they don't need janitors no more, my friend. You're going to be out of a job, bro. You're going to be out of a job. A stream of income is going down the drain, brother. They ain't going to need you no more. I know you've been doing your janitor job for a minute now, but we don't need you. We won't need you no more. We got them. We got robots to do this job basically 7 days a week. 24 hours. So I hate to tell you, holla at your boy. We gonna redirect. We gonna do some career refocusing. We call it career refocusing where I'm at. And we gonna get you right on track. Yeah, clean all that up. Clean that all up. See, when you was telling me, we was talking one time, he's like, man, I had to stick my hand in the toilet and get a real. It felt like one of those sticky loogies that you step on, but it was, one of them turds that you had to rip out of the toilets. Listen, brother, you don't have to experience that no more. The jig is over, bro. You gonna be out of a job. So I will be looking around to see who's hiring. I will be looking around to see who can give you a job, because at this point, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to make ends meet. And so I'm going to be reaching out to all our contacts in the chat. I'm going to be reaching out to people that we know, because we might even have to start a GoFundMe, because I know this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt a little bit as we try to get you back on track, because I was concerned when I saw this $1 billion corporation. So I know this was hurtful, and I didn't send it to you because I don't want you to find out like that. I don't want you to hit your DMs and then see your career like fall off in your face. So I thought I'd tell you on the live stream when you have a bunch of support with you. We got about 180 people in here, so you got support, so you don't feel alone, and you don't feel like you can't lean on us through these hard times that you're going to see in the future, as you have to find a new source of income as your janitor job gets retired. So it is what it is. We still doing what we doing, Def Jam Records, so we still doing what we doing, but this one hurts. This one hurts a little bit. So just know we got your back. Just know Team Fatty is going to be hiring soon, because he's going to be doing big things. And, a man of your talents, don't worry. You won't be out of the markets for long. You won't be out of the markets for long. Don't worry. Man of your talent will be heavily coveted in the job market. It's just that you're going to have a career redirection. Okay. So that's just my professional support of you. And, I just had to get that out now before we even get too deep into the show, because people were getting a little concerned why you're throwing tantrums and stuff. Now, I already knew what was going on, but now that I've shared with everybody else what people can go through on a day-to-day when nobody else care about you, nobody know what kind of stress you're going with, now people kind of know. So people get off his back, know that he's trying to figure out and put some things together as we transition and move in new directions, okay? Shout out to Shiki Banner. Now, next on the line of business, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Miss Anthony Oneal thing got me thinking. It got me thinking a lot about what I'm thinking about wrong, what I'm thinking about right. Now, I've been talking to the ladies a lot. B. Taylor, she just did a show talking about broke dudes stay away from successful women. She used a different word. We're not going to do that over here. But she don't want y'all to deal with successful women, whatever a successful woman is, right? I don't know. But stay away from successful women if you're a broke guy, right? And then I've heard women say that, you broke, you shouldn't date if you broke. All type of stuff is what women are expressing, right? And I'm having issues with trying to be overly understanding and conflicted on the information that I'm receiving, right? I do really good at breaking down things, but the stuff that I'm hearing does not compute, because actions aren't indicative of that, and other things are not as well, right? So I'm not going to even hold you. We're going to get straight into the Anthony Oneal video. It's a short video. I didn't get to watch it. I just heard Anton talking about this 100,000. So I wanted to make sure I hear from myself what this $100,000 that he's talking about and how he goes about speaking about it, because it matters. It absolutely matters. And so I want to make sure that I don't mischaracterize the information in which he's given us. Okay. So let me pull it up right here. and we gonna join Mr. Anthony Oneal on the big screen.
Two is that Adam was with God.
Right.
God decided to put him to sleep.
Right.
Took the rib, brought Eve to him.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Adam had provision
Right.
before he got a wife. So if
Bro,
he ain't got
if
no
he got
residence
provision.
and no revenue,
Yeah.
how you gonna help him?
Oh my goodness.
He don't see you as a wife. He
Right.
see you as a mama.
Ooh, oh my God. That's the end of the show. God bless y'all.
No, he sees you as a
Mama.
and you being a mama.
Oh my
You
God.
taking care of him.
Yes.
And the New Testament says, he that provided not for his own house is worse than an infidel. Now, I'm not saying, sis, I'm not saying,
Talk to him.
I'm not saying that you can't have your own. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Because there going to be times when that brother going to be down.
Yeah.
And you got to step up.
But that's her role, though.
That's
to
it.
help.
Help, to be that help.
Yeah.
Just to step up.
Oh man, oh man. You know, I'm interested in seeing what the 22-year-olds are saying, what the 24-year-olds are saying, because these old heads, we're swaying. These old heads keep saying the same story over and over again. It's the same story over and over again. Adam and Eve, Adam provider, Adam protector, and if you don't do this, then that's your mama. Every single time, if you don't do this, then this person is your mama.
Got it. Don't worry about it, baby. Don't worry about it, baby. My wife has done it. Hey, don't worry about it. I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Because I held it down.
But the man still needs to come back and provide.
All the way.
But ladies do not like that word provide.
I think that the reason why they don't like it is because they don't understand that doesn't take anything away from them.
It doesn't.
I think one of the problems that we have in a black family is that we're keeping up with the Joneses, and we actually think that just because we have two incomes, we can actually go spend more money. But there's a proven fact, you can Google it, that parents who have stay-at-home, the families who have stay-at-home moms have more money, or stay-at-home parents have more money saved than two families where both of them are working.
Absolutely.
But so why come we just can't, live?
So his argument is a family has more money saved. Think about it. A family has more money saved when you have a stay-at-home parent. Mind you, he said parent. He didn't say stay-at-home mom. So that's indicating that men are staying at home, possibly. I guess they fall in line with that stat. Then with two parents working, right? I mean, I don't know. Does that make sense? Most of the time, if you can afford to not have a parent working, don't you think that you probably are doing really, really well and you probably can save money? I don't know. Just a thought. It's a possibility. You can save money if you are doing so. I get it. That's a very to me it's a bad stat, but anything to make your point. Anything to make your point. Because it's a nice, hey, listen, it's a nice burgundy on you, player. It's a nice burgundy, so I can't even be mad at you.
Live off of this income and stack the other one.
Man, listen. People get upset with me when I say that. I think that if you have two incomes, I know because I study this, right? If you have two incomes in a family, I was on a particular panel and I said this, and the ladies were kind of offended that I said this because they took it as if I was saying that their careers, that their incomes do not matter. When I'm not saying that, what I'm saying is if we have two incomes, let's be wise with the income.
That's it.
What is the strategy to building a legacy and wealth? And so why do we want to have our lifestyle max with 2 incomes?
Right.
So I said, as the man, I want to build the house. I want the 4 walls of what I learned working with Dave Ramsey. You know, my housing, transportation, food, and utilities. Those 4 things need to be covered by my income. I'm not saying that your income doesn't matter.
Right.
But what I'm saying is the foundation of what we stand on as a family needs to be based upon my income, your income. Let's use that to invest. Let's use that to maybe do vacations. But then they was like, well, why do we have to settle for a $1 million home? Or let's go down to the basic average person. Why do we got to settle for a $200,000 home if my income will allow us to get a $400,000 home? I said, because now we're maxed out to our capacity, and the Black people, we are living above our means. Why not come below our means, get a beautiful home? And we already know this. I'm going to pay for the house. Well, my income is going to pay for the house, but it's our income. Who's going to choose the house? The woman.
Oh, you know what?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you choosing, you decorating. We are paying, but we're basing, oh, that's so good. We're basing the cost of the home off of the income that my partner value, the gifts and the skills. I don't want a woman to sit at home and be lazy and just use both of our gifts, our loved ones, as it definitely can Americans to pre-quote with no debt. If they have a calling, if they have an anointing.
Because they're like, I'm building a business right now.
Yeah. You know, and that's it. But I'm with you though. I do believe.
Let me just say this. The thing about Anthony Oneal, right? He has no woman. Anthony Oneal has no woman. So he been stacking all this money, right? Stacking all this money. Now, I don't know. Maybe he's a virgin, right? Because he is a Christian man, right? I don't know. I know he has not been married, but maybe he's a virgin. So all this money he's stacking on selling these dreams and thoughts to women to get a man like him to inflate his status as a man, right? That's ultimately what he's doing, right? Is trying to inflate his status to women. Hey, ladies, look, I'm getting money over here, but I'm not gonna provide for you, and you. I'm not gonna provide for 50 of y'all. I get one lucky woman, and I want y'all to fight over me. I want y'all to fight over me. And while I'm stacking money and stacking so much bread and not paying for a woman, not taking care of a family, I'm going to stack some money by telling y'all things that y'all want to hear about the type of man you shouldn't be messing with. And then my bread going to go up. And by the time I finally want to deal with a woman, I got so much money. I done dropped so many books about what type of man y'all shouldn't mess with that I will be so in demand that I can't lose. And I'm going to come back on here and I'm going to say a man should make $500,000 a year. A man should make $500,000 a year because that's what the going rate is. Shout out to Team Fatty. I mean, it's your birthday. Shout out to Team Fatty. He said, if you even dare to deal with some of these people here, make sure you get some insurance. So Team Fatty, you are now officially the sponsor of the show on your birthday. You can't be sponsoring shows on your birthday, Team Fatty. Stop it. But I appreciate you because we're gonna be dealing with some nuisance. I can already hear it in the chat. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna get Robin M to come up here and spew this nonsense that she's spewing in the chat right now, but it's okay. It's okay. It's about to be a battle though. Oh, don't worry, we got time.
David gave his sons his presents. I think that's so
within myself and within just like the guys on my team and the guys that I talk to. I'm very aggressive with men, especially Black men, right? And I'm still learning in this area, right? So I'm not speaking like this is facts, but a part of me is like, man, I'm watching our sisters win. I'm watching them start businesses, go to schools, be single mothers, and really rising to the occasion that I think that men, we need to step up. And so I tell all of my Asian man, I'm watching our sisters win.
Oh Lord. Man, that boy can sell. I bet he got one of the top sales team in all of the universe. He got one of the top sales team. I 100% could tell he got one of the top sales team. It's cool. It's cool. Because I know some of y'all gonna come up here and agree with this nonsense. I know you will. You know what? I'm not gonna battle you for it. Some of y'all gonna come up here and agree with this nonsense that he's spewing, but it's okay. I expect y'all to. You know why? Because y'all gonna try to sell a dream that y'all gonna pull it off. Ain't gonna be no fun today, though. Ain't gonna be as much fun as you think it is today. Not gonna be. Not gonna be. Go ahead, Ao. Tell them what you see. Got what you see going on. Go ahead.
This area, right? So I'm not speaking like this is facts, but a part of me is like, man, I'm watching our sisters win. I'm watching them start businesses, go to schools, be single mothers, and really rising to the occasion that I think that men, we need to step up. And so I tell all of my men that I think that if you're going to be a man, you should be striving to 6 figures a year.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? That you shouldn't.
Let me hear that again.
A man, and so I tell all of my men that I think that if you're going to be a man, you should be striving to 6 figures a year.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
So I like to make sure that I'm hearing things in the proper context, right? Now, I see better than I hear, but I also listen very well. I tell all my men, is what he said, that if you're going to be a man, you need to make 6 figures a year. If you're going to be a man, you need to make 6 figures a year. That's what he said. That's what he said. If you're going to be a man, you need to make 6 figures a year. If you're going to be a man. and see, y'all hear this stuff and think he's preaching to the choir. Ladies are like, yes, that's right. That's right. And he ain't picked none of y'all. None of y'all. Go ahead.
Want to be a man, you should be striving to 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? That you shouldn't settle for anything less than 6 figures.
Okay, why not?
And some guys just get upset with me when I say, like, oh man, I mean, I'm a black man and the system is not rigged, it's not made for me. And I'm like, hey, bro, I make well over 6 figures a year and I'm black too. And I think the greatest enemy to our success and to our wealth building is our excuse.
Definitely.
And so if you immediately come out and say, oh, I can't, the system, da 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 da, I'm like, bro, that's you then.
Right.
I didn't say go out there and make 7 figures, 8 figures.
Right.
I said, hey man, strive to make 6 figures a year.
Right.
That's $8,333 a month.
Right.
After taxes, that's really not a lot.
Right.
After taxes, as a single man, that's about, you see, about $5,000.
Right.
$5,500 a month.
Right.
Like that should be your bare minimum strive.
Right.
Bare minimum.
And so I think for me, when I'm talking to men, I'm like, all right, cool. If you got a job that's paying you 60, you 40K short.
Right.
We need to find the other 40K.
Ladies, is he lying? Ladies, is he preaching to the choir? Yes, you need that money, don't you? What's wrong with encouraging men to make more money? Nothing. Absolutely nothing wrong with encouraging men to make more money. But telling men you're not a man unless you pushing towards $100,000 a year, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a very, very big problem if you actually really think about it. But that's okay, right? Because, oh, Robin M., you say he's speaking facts? You know what, Robin M., I like you. You was one of the best trolls around. You one of the best trolls around. So I can't even be mad about that. But he not speaking facts at all. He not speaking facts at all. I find a lot flawed in his thinking. Very much a lot flawed. We know that he's probably not paying his employees 6 figures a year, right? He's probably not paying that. One of the ways people make a lot of money is by their paying their employees whatever basically the market dictates that they should make, and then they house the rest. Now, if he was saying, I pay all my employees 6 figures, you know what I would say? He's the man for this conversation. If he says he pays all his employees 6 figures, he the man. I actually couldn't say not a word because he's actually being a part of the solution. But what he's doing is saying, while I'm this, what's up, Callie Bev? While I'm this just, is that Arlise? Ooh, now the show really can begin. While he's doing this personality thing and tying himself to Dave Ramsey, right? Because he said he learned the Dave Ramsey thing, right? Oh, I learned the Dave Ramsey thing, the 4 things: transportation, housing, the utilities, and all that. A man should provide that, right? Kylie Bev, you don't know who Anthony Oneal is. I don't want to say he's a disciple of Dave Ramsey, but he comes from that tree of Dave Ramsey. He was on the Dave Ramsey show for a while. I think he strategized, found a way to spin off his own show, and he's done really, really well, to be honest with you. He's done phenomenally well. He's making a lot of money. But here's the thing. Relationship conversations are so involving of everybody. People are like, why everybody talk about relationships? Because everybody gets to be involved. Everybody gets to talk about relationship things. When you start talking about money, people have to stop saying, hey, I'm not in this conversation. Hey, I'm not in an executive suite. Hey, I'm not making 50,000. Hey, I'm not making 30,000. So they can't be in every conversation. But when it comes to relationships, everybody can be in every conversation. That's just how it goes, right? Now, I have no problem with him saying that he only wants to be around men that make 6 figures, and I'm only going to pay my employees 6 figures. He didn't do that. He said, look, if you're making 40 over here, let's send you over somewhere else to make another 40 over there, right? He wants to basically control other people's time and say expense all their energy to going out to make money in order for them to be a man. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. But another thing I hear, you know what? I'm going to put a poll up because I want to see if you guys agree with some of this things that he's saying. Should you be making 100K plus to start a family? This is what I want to know. This is what I want to know. Because what I find is it's different. It's different. I get different perspectives every time. I like to hear your thoughts. Now, I already know what a lot of you think. I've spoken to a lot of the women. B. Taylor says broke men shouldn't basically be get none. Most of y'all should die as virgins. I heard her talking about that. Now she capping, talking about that's what happened back in the day, all this type of stuff, and women was the prize, and no, that wasn't what happened. It wasn't what happened. And then something about men virginity that was cut like respected and all this type of stuff. It was some nonsense going on. But I'm not even going to go down that trail today. I'm not going to go down that trail today because that's for another time. B. Taylor, oh yes, we will have another conversation when you get on that craziness about male virginity and things like that. You better have everything, all your ducks in a row. Because ain't no simp god going to be able to protect you. If your ducks ain't in a row, then no simp god around will be able to save you at all. Okay, I'm gonna give you some time because Arlise says joint income. It's a really good question, Arlise. It's a really good question. The question is, do you think? Well, sure, yeah, you can say joint income if you want. I don't know if women want their income to be part of the family's income. From what I understand, they want their man to be making the money and they live off their man's money. Now, let me see here. Wash your hands, says Aaron. You can afford to date welfare women. Yeah, that's fine with me. If you think that bothers me, it doesn't. I have no issues with the type of women you think I can date. just wondering. Now, here's the thing. Definitely combined income at minimum, right? So then you guys are speaking about combined. Anthony O'Neal says men need to make 100K. That's what he said. Now, Robin M., again, this is her favorite line. My money, my money, my money. If a man is worried about a woman's money, he is part of the rainbow. That's what she said. That's what she said, right? So we're going to have a real conversation. And shout out to my brother, Gary Grants. He says, I agree 100%. You should be financially stable to have children. Make life a lot easier. Big up, bro. Yeah, no doubt. I don't have a problem with you being financially stable, whatever that means, right? But let me ask you this question. If y'all think a man should make 100K, which I'm not necessarily disagreeing with. See, let me go back to the video just for a second. Just for a second, right? Because I need to highlight what he said just a little bit more. Just a little bit more, right? This is important. This is important. We can't miss things.
Facts. Talk to. I'm very aggressive with men, especially black men, right? And I'm still learning in this area, right? So I'm not speaking that this is facts, but a part of me is like, man, I'm watching our sisters win. I'm watching them start businesses, go to schools, be single mothers.
See, here he's highlighting, he's watching women win by basically going to school, starting businesses. And the single mother part, I don't think he means that. He's saying he's seeing them doing it, like doing that stuff while they're single mothers, right? I don't think he thinks being a single mother is a win. But going to school and starting businesses is what he's considered a win. So basically, he's talking about women making money, right? That's essentially what he's talking about right now.
And really rising to the occasion that I think that men, we need to step up.
Now, when he says rising to the occasion, that part confuses me. What occasion are they rising to? Because this is the only thing that will make sense. Oh, Arlise, don't worry. You're going to win. You definitely going to win. That $1 billion is all yours. You definitely going to win. But this is the part that confuses me. When they say black, because he's talking about his sisters. He says sisters. And whenever a black man says sisters, that's not me. It's in a reference point to black women, right? He says, I'm watching them win. And I'm seeing them doing this and all that. Okay, fine, right? I have no problem with that, right? But what are they making the money for? If their money is not necessarily to contribute to the family or contribute to the things in which the man says the money is for, what are they making money for? If you're going to congratulate them on making money, which I have no problem with, why? Why congratulate them on making money if it's not for a family? That's one of the most confusing things that exists. Do not congratulate women on making money if their money is not to go to the family. The family in which the man supposedly is to be in control of. Supposedly. Why? Why are you congratulating them for doing something that does not pertain to family? That is very confusing to me. I do not know why you're highlighting that. But I'll tell you this. When you say you're seeing them win, you're seeing them step up, what does that mean? I'll tell you what I think it means. It means you think they're closing the gap. It means you think they're closing the gap. Now, when we get in these conversations with black women, specifically at this point, because you highlighted that, and I've had conversations with black women, other women, who are they closing the gap on? Are they closing the gap for like white women and compared to their income? Or Asian women and comparing to their income, and they're being competitive with Asian women and Indian women and, you know, Chinese women and Japanese women and white women and Mexican, like, are they being competitive with them? Like, is that when you say, like, you see them kind of stepping up and closing the gap? Do you see them getting ready to be on par with Asian women are making and what white women are making? Like, is that what you're saying you see them stepping up to? Because no matter if they make money or not, they cannot compete with men. Even if they say, I make more money than you. Lady, it don't matter if I make $40,000 and you make $250,000. We not competing for the same thing. One, because you don't want to pay for your family, so that don't matter. And two, you trying to get a man. I'm trying to get a woman. We not on the same competition field. So how are you stepping up? How are you stepping up? Are you telling me the next numbers that we're going to read is that Black women are about to surpass Asian women in income? Black women are about to surpass Indian women in income? Or are they going to try to get you to target Black men who are not your competition because you actually cannot compete with them? It's actually almost impossible. Good night, Natasha. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. It's almost impossible because we're not competing for the same things. I know they like to send you a narrative that we are, but we're not. We're not competing for the same thing. So even if you out earn a man, it means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. But it sounds good, and I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. But I hate to tell you, it won't work. It won't work. So that's one of the issues. That's just one of the issues that I'm having with part of these conversations. But I will be keeping my eye out to see if y'all start surpassing these other women that y'all supposedly can compete with, right? Because last time I got in trouble. Hey, Juju, I got in all kind of trouble for listening and responding to what other people said. I never said Black women were at the bottom. They said that somebody said they was at the bottom, and I said, okay, disprove how you saying that you're not at the bottom if that's what they saying. And I showed you how that ain't looking. It's looking a little shaky over there. But let's be honest, Black women are opening businesses. They are getting educated. But the question is that education level, is that earning level pushing them ahead of other women? Now, I'll say this. I don't know about Hispanic women, but I don't really believe Hispanic women was ever ahead of Black women in earning. I think they were always pretty neck and neck. So I don't really see that as a competition. But if they start out earning white women, and if they start earning Asian women, oh, you know what? They will actually have an argument. If they start out earning white women and they start out earning Asian women, oh yeah, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I would have to admit? That at this point, they are the competition. They are top dogs. And you know what? They've done something which is almost historically impossible to do. From going from close to the bottom to the very, very top, that would be heavily impressive. I would be a staunch supporter of it because, you know, that would hopefully trickle off to some of the rest of the family and all that good stuff. And it's interesting. But then you would actually be competing with those women because you can't compete with men. So I want you guys to stop thinking that when you say I make more money than you, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing if you make more money than a man. I know it sounds good and it makes you feel good because you want to compete with a man, but you don't do the things that men do. And listening to your guy, Anthony Oneal, he ain't going to do you no favors. He's not going to do you no favors at all. I hate to tell you, but he is an interesting guy. He knows absolutely how to get the right talking points. And I've been telling you guys this for months. Rich people with a lot of money, they monopolize the game. They get on the Twitters, they get on the internet, they show you their lifestyle, they tell you about how great they doing, and they tell you, ladies, don't ever get with a man that ain't paying all the bills. Ladies, a real man does this and does that, right? They tell you because they can do it, right? But they won't do it for you. They will not do it for you, and they will not supply somebody for somebody to do for you. They won't give you one of these guys that they magically talking about. All they doing is creating this mythical possibility. Because honestly, ladies, whenever you see a man, for the most part, if they're not like this major celebrity and ain't a billionaire or anything like that, y'all think y'all can have him. Y'all think y'all could possibly get him. You're like, you know what? I could get with him if we was in the same, we was in the same space, geographically, I was close enough. I probably could get him. So because women are not taught to know that there are men that's way above their level that they can't have, they will start in looking at what other women can do and go, well, it's a possibility I can get that too, because she ain't that much better looking than me. And it don't help that some of these women ain't better looking than you. It don't help that some of these women, they don't look better than you, but they have other aspects that you don't have, that nobody talks about. So then you worried, I still got a chance. So you think you got a chance. I hate to tell you, you don't have a chance. Shout out to AO. It says, so you make more money than men. Now what? I'm 100%. I'm trying to break it down to them right now. I don't know what they're going to do if they make more money than men. I tell you what they're going to do. They're probably going to throw it in your face, call you names, say you broke, right? All these things, right? Here's where I'm having trouble at, right? This is some of the issues that I'm walking into a problem with, right? We're so quick to say, as a man, if you're not making a certain amount of money, you shouldn't have children. We should put a test in place that, you got to pass a test to have children. All these prerequisites and all these requirements for you to then to start a family, right? So let me try this. You guys tell me what you think about this. This might be a little interesting to y'all. Juju, what's a false talking point, Juju? Oh, most poor people have the most kids. Yeah, but they're still saying you shouldn't have kids. They're saying you shouldn't have kids. And we all know what the truth is, but they monopolize the game and it works very well because women then get with men that they don't think are deserving of them. And this is part of the problem that I'm going to highlight, right? I have no problem with women saying, just tell me if you think about it. I have no problem with women saying it's a requirement for you to be with me. It's a requirement to make $100,000 because that's what I need for my family. It's a requirement, right? Now, fair enough. But can I be honest with y'all? Let me just ask y'all this and be honest, right? Because I think I will accept that being a fair requirement. Men, matter of fact, you know what, men? I wouldn't even be mad if they said y'all can't even have sex at all unless you make $100,000. Walk with me here. I would not be mad at all if they had restrictions on men who did not make 100. You cannot get no women at all if you don't make 100,000. Sounds a little crazy, but I'm getting with them, right? Now check this out. Now that we accept your premise, right? That if you ain't making $100,000, you get no women. I accept that premise. Here's the other premise. If a man makes $100,000, you have to sleep with him. You have to be with him. If I pass that prerequisite, look here. I make 100,000, you got to be with me. It's required. If I tell you you got to be with me, you got to be with me. How does that sound? How does that sound? Tell me what y'all think about that. I accept y'all requirements. Now we add a requirement to y'all. How does that sound? I'm going to go out on a limb and say, y'all not going to like that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, y'all not going to like that. You're not going to like that very much. That now that when a man got 100,000, you got to sleep with him. That's what it is. Keisha said, right, most men be dying alone. I have no problem with that, Keisha. But the question is, when that man do got that 100 bands, can he walk right up to Keisha and say, yo, you know what time it is? Got that 100. Got that 105, got that 110, drop it. Drop. That's what you have to do. That's the requirements. Y'all put requirements on men. We're going to put requirements. So y'all drop them. Drop them. And we have no problem at all. Oh, no? Y'all don't think that's a good idea? So we can't require y'all to drop them if we come with that 100 bands like y'all said? Why not? Why not? I'm heavily intrigued to know why not. Why can't we have a requirement just like we accept y'all requirement? Oh, we got a troll in my chat. Hey, look here, wash your hands. I know you watch all my shows, and I don't mind at all. I'm going to be rather kind because the things I could say would be rather rude and mean, and I'm not going to be because I don't have to be. You watching me. Nobody makes you come to the show. Nobody makes you, but you know what you don't do? You don't cam up. And let me tell you a secret. I have asked none of these women to sleep with me. Zero. You will find none of these women have a DM from me, an inbox from me requesting that. I'm not starved of anything. I'm not harassing women for it. So you pretty much got me wrong, but I'm not gonna have anybody time you out for the disrespect because it's cool. You entitled to your opinion, but just know I am one of the very few places you can go where you can disrespect the person that runs the show. I'm one of the very few places. Most people will ban you. Most people will kick you out of their chat. But remember, I'm not most people. I'm just telling you the truth. It sounds crazy, right? To tell y'all you got to sleep with that man. He meets the requirements. Go ahead and drop him. It sounds crazy. And let me tell you why that sounds crazy. Because the truth of the matter is this. The truth of the matter is this. Even if a man makes that money, you know what you're going to say? What if he's not attractive? I should be able to choose the man that I want to do that with, right? You should be able to choose, right? Don't you think it should be your choice? I agree. I agree 100%. It should be your choice. So, ladies, please stop telling other women to stop sleeping with the broke man that they want to sleep with. They are making an informed choice to sleep with the man that they want to sleep with. You wouldn't want us telling you who you have to sleep with. You don't want us to put a requirement on you and say, hey, 100 bands, that's what it is. Y'all been talking. We accept y'all premise. Now drop them because you know what's going to happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen. It's going to be a fat, sloppy guy with Cheetos on his shirt. Cheetos all on his shirt that said, I love Pokemon, walking up to you, and you're going to see a woman that look good, somebody look good like Juju or something, going to pull right up on Juju and say, hey, y'all heard what's going on in these streets? Yeah, Aaron O said, if you make that 100 bands that we all agreed to, minimum, I got it. I've been certified. Oh, yeah, here go my certification. You want to type it in to make sure it's official? And then you got to drop them for that fat stank man with the Cheetos dropping all the shit. How that sound to y'all? You're not going to like that. You're not going to like it at all because you know why? We remove choice. We remove choice. And that's a problem for y'all. So please, ladies, watch with the disrespect. There is not a requirement for a man to make a certain amount of money to have children. It's not. You know, women have choice in life. And as a matter of fact, my analogy that I just created for you is proven that y'all would rather have choice. Choice is what you guys desire at the end of the day. Sure, I thought you was working. What you doing around here?
I'm on a break. I'm on a 30-minute break.
You don't take breaks. You all gas, no breaks.
I'm taking a 30-minute break legally.
Well, fair enough. How are you doing? Good. I
I'm
see.
doing
Okay.
good. How you doing, twin?
I'm enjoying life. I'm just trying to figure out why when I'm listening to Cheeky Show and I'm listening to B Taylor and they talking about broke guys. One, is offensive because I'm a broke guy and I stand for all broke guys. And then two, why do they want to take choice away from women? Why can't she have the choice to sleep with a broke guy if she want to? I just
You
don't
know, I
understand.
think that whole concept of women are like y'all inspiration. So like when women sleep with broke guys, they like really messing up the market. You know how they say like if we was in high school and
Oh,
all the
oh, hold
girls,
on one sec, sis, because Gary Grant fell right into my trap card. Thank you, Gary Grant. Gary Grant, you know me very well. I come prepared. I always come prepared, brother. I was expecting someone to say, well, sex is not the same as having children. Okay. So let me ask you, Gary Grant, since you're speaking on it, you my brother, and you allowed to come up whenever you want. You know you official on my show. Uh, if I don't want to have kids, I use a condom and it break. Then what? I didn't want to have kids. We was just having sex. Do I still have to take care of the kids?
you do.
I do, right? So sex.
But men don't have babies. Men
No,
have
no, no,
sex.
no, no.
Women have babies.
Sex equals children. You
Hmm.
have to operate under that premise, right?
Yeah, because that's the worst case scenario.
Exactly. Even in the worst case scenario, life actually happens. You actually have to deal with life's ramifications. Even if you didn't want children, even if you did the majority of things you can do to prevent yourself from having children. And then here's the thing: you don't get to determine if a child is born or not. You get to just determine if a child has the ability to be born. That's it.
Mm.
So at the end of the day, you're right. You're right. But I hate to tell you, you can't have sex at all. That's the point, Gary Grant. No sex at all is the point.
Yeah, don't have no sex out here.
But if you make 100K, then you can afford your family. So she got to drop them draws. That's the point. But what I'm trying to show you ultimately is that women want choice. Even if you have the money, they still want to say, "Nah, I shouldn't have to do that." Right? They still want to say, "I shouldn't have to do that." But if a man tell you, "I shouldn't have to make 100K for a family," it's an outrage. You have a choice. I don't have the money. It's up to you if you want to sleep with me or not. But no, we trying to take choice away from women and saying the requirement is 100K. Mind you, we talking about Anthony Oneal. We talking about Anthony Oneal saying to be a man, you need to make 100K. I'm giving you the situation in which, if that's acceptable, it is within reason that if I make 100K, drop them draws. Then I'm
I don't
following
think it's
your argument.
enough 100K jobs for every man in America.
What's
I
going
just
on,
don't.
Gary Grant? What's going on, brother?
I think you missed my point there, young fella. First of all, don't I hate when people use that scenario. What if the condom breaks?
That's
Do you
just
know
one
how
scenario.
often that happens?
Yeah, but that's just one scenario. We
Yeah.
have plenty more. But the
Okay.
point of it is, even if it doesn't happen that often, in that one situation in which it does that man get a reprieve? Like, you know what? Since it rarely happened and that wasn't your intentions, you don't have to take care of the child, or do you still have to suffer the consequences? If you do, then you have to submit it to evidence.
Well, first of all, if the condom breaks and you're having sex with somebody responsible, you take care of all preventive maintenance. That means the morning after pill. There's all kinds of different things to take care that a child is not born.
No, no, no. But that requires two people responsibility, and I don't believe that's something that you can guarantee it at any percentage, right? Because a woman could say she's on a pill, a woman could say she took the pill. You can only control yourself, and so if you put the condom on, and she says she's on birth control, she's probably not. She says she took the morning after, and she probably didn't. She can lie to you. Now, if a woman lies to you, do you then say, "Well, she lied to me, so I'm not responsible"? Does that work?
For me,
No, G, come on, G. You know that, G. So if a
I'm going to
woman
be honest with you there, Aaron. First
says,
of all, I don't. You guys of today, I guess you all sleep with any and any woman.
You saw the girl,
I
did
don't
you watch?
believe in that because I'm
You
old
probably did.
school.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you, and I'm not mad at you. I hear you, and I'm not mad at you at all.
You guys
But
keep
when
forgetting that.
it's done,
That here's what I'm going to tell you. What y'all forget: men are the prize. I don't know when you young fellas forgot this and made women think they're the prize. Your seed is very expensive. You don't give it away like that to anybody. And you should not just let anybody have your children. I think the brothers were, I agree with them that the brothers have lost a little bit of self respect. because they're like being pulled by their nose by that thing between women's legs. First of all, almost 60 years old. I have no children. Until I've been with my lady for 25 years. We decide we don't have no children. Guess what we are? Responsible. You pick. You don't sleep with any Marie, Portia, or Julie because your seed is expensive. And this breaking of condom, it happens once in every 200 million.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I just
Okay.
asked that the one in every 200 million that guy shouldn't have to take care of the kids. Is that what we agreeing to?
Well, you shouldn't even have the kid. That kid, that shouldn't even happen from the
Gary,
condom breaks.
we can't control that, and you know it.
No, from the condom breaks. Well, the girl you're sleeping with. If you're sleeping with Betty from the hood, of course she's gonna have the baby.
Yeah, Gary. You're making this complicated. Is a straight up answer, yes or no? You don't have to make it complicated, Gary.
I already said
I
no,
think
no.
what
You're being hold on.
Aaron was trying to get a
Hold on, man.
straightforward
I
answer.
don't like how you flex,
Go ahead.
guy, because you like to interrupt. First of all, I said there should not even be a child in the first place because a responsible, you as the man, you know your condom breaks. The possibility of her getting pregnant, there's a possibility. You say, let's go down to the drugstore. You spend your $50, you get your morning after pill, and you take care of the business. A child should not. You shouldn't even have to get to that stage, and I think that's the problem.
Gary Grant, I love you, bro. You
This
know
is not
that.
1960.
I know, but you think that if that was a proven effective thing, that all men wouldn't do that? Well, as a matter of fact, we would walk around with these pills like they popping pills everywhere. We would hand a woman every time. They don't always acquiesce to that, brother. That's the point. They don't.
I understand that, but I'm telling you, which women will acquiesce to that? Any woman with a future, any woman that cares about herself. If you want to, like, I'm sorry, brothers, you all get a lot of hood rats and fat chicks pregnant. They're not. They understand. If they get pregnant, they're not throwing it away. That's the difference. Most, if you can see, most women that are successful, they don't even have children. They have sex just as much as everybody else. I'm trying to, like, it's the caliber of female, bro. It's that simple. Only a hood rat or a bum chick is gonna have a child for a dude she's not even with.
Well, see, this is the problem, right? Because we have tons of women that are educated, making good money, that have children with men that they are not necessarily proud of. So basically, are you basically telling me that if a child is born and you're not happy with the dad, it's really the woman's fault? Because I'm not looking at the man as not. I'm looking at the woman's.
Of course, it is. It's always the woman's fault. Understand? It's always the woman's fault because only a woman can choose to have a child, no matter if you want it or not. If she don't want it, she don't have to have it. So that I don't. I know people like to say, "Well, it's 50-50 because you put your." No, it's not. Because from you put your sperm in her, she owns it. So,
Aaron,
like, go ahead there, brother.
Aaron, can I ask Gary a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. It's up to you.
Gary, I got a question for you. When I spoke, you said I like to interrupt. Let me ask you a question. Is it bad in any conversation that when two or three men are having conversation that one of them interjects, it becomes an interruption? Is that how discussions happen between men?
Well, between me and my brethren, yes. We wait for somebody to. Oh, you asked me a question. You might not like my answer.
No, go ahead.
But the men that I speak with, not on the internet, in real life, when you're making a point, they wait for you to finish, and then they make their interjection. Unless you say something wrong. If somebody says something wrong, you can interject there because it makes no sense continuing a lie. But if they did not make a mistake, you wait until they're finished. That's just respect, common courtesy.
Okay. The reason why I asked you this question is that you just said right now that if that person thinks that you made a statement wrong, they can interject, right? Which is exactly what I thought. That's why I interjected because I have friends. You don't know me personally, right? You don't know me. I come up here because I like to have conversation with you guys. And I go to business meetings, I go to conferences, and the men have conversation just like men interject. So when a man talks and another man interjects, is not interruption. Interruption becomes when you disrespect the guy when he's talking, keep interjecting. Interjecting becomes interruption. You see what I'm saying? But we grown men, you know what I mean? So I like to have conversation with you guys. That's why I come in this space. But continue, sir.
No, I totally understand what you're saying, bro. Like maybe that's how you and your friends and those guys flex. Like I expect it on the internet. I just watch it, not a problem. But I'm saying me. I'm in a business meeting with with people. Nobody interrupts anybody until they finish their point. That's all.
No,
Aaron, if you have questions for me, I'll go ahead. Well, go ahead, bro.
no. I think ultimately, do you think that all men need to make 100K? Do you stand by? Do you support that basically thought process? Is that's what men need to do?
Not at all. That's stupid. Only 15% of people in America make 100K. And that includes men, women, and others. So if all men, and there's 180 million men in America, that's all across all ethnicities. If all of them made 100,000, how about the service jobs? Are they making 100,000? That's just stupid to say that. And I don't know where this 100,000 thing came from in the first place. It's like the new thing. You got to make six figures. Only 15% of people do that.
It comes from an inflated view of what people deserve, right? I deserve, my kids need to go to this school. I need to go on vacation. I shouldn't have to sacrifice my life. We should thrive, and our children should be able to thrive. Instead of, it used to be you make the sacrifices for your children's of the next generation and things like that. That's where it gets complicated.
Well, I think it's the modern women. They got the home alone syndrome. What about me? When I'm coming up, the children, you make sacrifices for your children. Now, in today's society, they expect the children to make sacrifice for them.
That's a really, really good point. It's a good point.
So
Let me play this video for you real quick. We have this lovely lady here with no makeup on, and this is what she thinks. This is her thoughts.
And I only want to deal with guys that's paying bills. I am a gold digger. I don't care.
I'm already doing 100% perfectly fine by myself.
Exactly. So if you want to come into my life and get my time and get my effort, my energy, you need to be offering something.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like every guy cheats. I've been cheated on, and I was paying for everything in the relationship.
And
You see, when a woman says, I pay for 100% of everything already, right? What does that actually mean? What does that mean?
She means she's an adult and she pays her own bills.
So what I take from that is that women look at men as a burden.
Of course they do. But that's hypergamy is just embedded in them. Women look for a man that's better than them. That's why a lot of women in today's society that are all educated and are making that six figure are finding it very hard to find a mate. Because every woman naturally wants a man better than them. So it's very hard for a woman making $100,000 look at a dude that's making 50, because in her mind, and even in her, I say her biology, she thinks she's better than him. Because it all comes down to money's power.
one thing is this, right? This is how it is in life. I look at people sometimes when they say certain things, especially the guy that you played his video, right? I look at stuff like that, I just ask myself, do people actually have mathematical acumen? In the sense that if everybody in the United States, every man in the US makes 100,000, the price of everything will be super high. People are crying about inflation today. They don't know that whenever there is a jump in salary, inflation goes up because inflation always outpaces income. So if you have everybody making 100,000, 100% of the men making 100,000 in order to find a woman to marry, right? That means when you go to a restaurant to eat, the plate of food is going to cost you almost $250, or no less than 200 just for a plate. Because you say what? Because you guys don't calculate. You don't make calculations when you talk.
We don't make what?
You guys don't calculate. You guys don't factor inflation into your discussion. Whenever there is if everybody earns $100,000, every man earns $100,000. The price of cars, the price of gasoline, the price of everything you think of that you can afford today will go up drastically, because guess what? In business, everybody out there, every retail store wants that money from you.
Yeah,
so they're going to increase.
We understand inflation, right? That's not
right.
The problem.
We're living through it. You do realize that,
like
right?
Women still want what they want, like inflation or not. That's what they're requesting, and they're and that's the situation, the environment people are dealing with. The issue that I'm having is that I hear that women get unlimited choices. I can get this man, that man, that man, that man. But for men, we have limited choices. Even though it's supposedly a man's world, even though it's supposedly like the patriarchy, how come men have less choices, but women have more choices?
Who's saying men have less choices, though?
Okay, so let me try this again. So
wait, can I just ask, do you think a woman with a foot face can get the same outcomes as a man with a foot face?
What is a foot face? I'm not familiar.
Just like an unattractive woman, right? Do you think that she can get the same thing an unattractive man can get?
No, she can get more.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah,
you think she can get more than an unattractive man can get?
100%. Because if that was not true, you would not find 300-pound women having children.
Who are they with usually? Isn't it usually a pookie?
Doesn't matter.
It's someone who doesn't have money. So,
but if you
what
find
are
that
getting other than a sperm donor?
If you reverse that situation, how many 300-pound men would ever be able to even get a woman?
If they have money, they can get any woman.
Money, we know money runs the world, darling. Let's take that out of the scenario.
No, why are we taking money out of this conversation? That makes no sense.
Because you just made the point, if a foot-faced woman and a foot-faced man, that has nothing to do with money. You're going by looks. Are you not?
I'm telling you that they could each get different things, meaning the woman cannot get what that man with money can get if he looks just as horrible as she does.
I don't get you.
So an ugly man with money could get way more than an ugly woman could get.
I don't think you're right about that.
You don't
think which planet does she live in?
No.
Women are getting flowed out right now.
They're not getting flowed out, but there's somebody sneaking into their DM.
What's good about that? What's good about someone sneaking in your DM? There's no benefit to that.
Oh no, there's a benefit over the ugly guy because they're getting sex. The ugly guy, he ain't getting sex.
He can pay for sex.
How about if he's broke?
If he's ugly and broke, then yeah, he's screwed. That's too many struggles. But I'm saying,
but a woman could be ugly and broke and still get sex.
Women?
Yes, because a lot of ugly and broke women have children.
Because they're usually paying for something below them.
They're broke.
They don't need to have money. If a man will stay with you because you have food stamps, then you don't need money.
All right. Yo, ugly woman could definitely get more because of makeup. because of all the different type of witchcraft type shit
Makeup can't
that
fix a 45-inch waist.
Let the man speak. Don't interrupt.
an ugly
Please.
woman can make herself look pretty for a day. Happens all the time. You see it on Instagram all the time. So yeah, I think an ugly woman can still put herself in different situations better than a man with money. Yeah.
An ugly man with money?
Even a good-looking man with money.
No, I
Don't you?
want to talk about ugly, not money.
Okay, even a ugly man with money still can't get more than an ugly woman without money.
You think so?
No, I know so. Because if it wasn't so, and as Lee just said, most of you women don't even look like what we meet. What you meet at the club is not what you bring home. Because when you wash off all of that stuff there and everything, that's not you.
An ugly woman. First of all, you guys are talking about wigs and makeup and stuff that nobody cares about but you guys. I'm
No,
talking
no.
about actually being ugly and overweight.
Hold on, Flora. Let's recenter the conversation because you probably came later. You familiar that Anthony Oneal says he believes all men should make $100K?
Yeah, I heard that, and obviously he's trying to sell it, but I think his point is that men need to make way more money than they're making right now, especially for the standards they have.
What standards do men have?
They want beautiful women. They want women who can cook. They want women who are going to work and also be a feminine, submissive woman in the house. They want a lot.
Do you realize that? Let me tell you something that women don't understand because you guys only see the lens through your eyes. See, I talk to women all the time, and I'll see a woman go by, I'm like, oh, she look good. And they'll go, she not all that. See, a woman's threshold for beauty is much higher than a man's threshold for beauty. What we find attractive
to that,
huh?
I can concede to that.
So that's why when you say we want a beautiful woman, it's not exactly what you think beautiful is, and there are a lot of women like that, and tons of women that are very, very attractive women. Now we have a higher scale when we talk about gorgeous, right? Gorgeous is at the top, but outside of that, most women are attractive. I'm not saying they bad, but most women are attractive.
You think so?
I'm positive of it. Most women are attractive.
Daryl have to agree to disagree.
Every single woman on this planet got at least
you
one
can't
thing.
tell me on that one. I'm sorry.
Every single woman on the planet got at least one thing beautiful.
Most women are attractive.
That is wrong.
All right, let me put up a picture.
It's not wrong.
I'm telling no, and I'll tell you why that is wrong. Because I've traveled to a lot of different countries, and for every one baddie that you see, you'll find 100 that are. Most women are not attractive.
No,
yeah, that's not a real statement.
Gary Grant, listen to the threshold.
He's not wrong. You can't say he's wrong because it's not an opinion. It's an opinionated statement. I can say every woman got something beautiful about them, and I believe that truly. At least one thing beautiful about them. I believe that. So you can't tell me I'm wrong either because it's an opinionated statement.
I can still tell you you're wrong.
Your opinion can. Are you saying practical? Are you saying your opinion can't be wrong?
No, an opinion
That's what
can't
you're
be
implying.
wrong. Your opinion cannot be wrong.
Let's not do this bickering, please.
Okay, I'm not even going to go there, Eric. I'll leave it alone.
No, me and you can have the conversation, Gary, because I understand that a lot of guys take that for more than what it sounds. All I say is attractive. Will you sleep with this woman? And most women can be slept with. It requires a level of attraction for most men to sleep with women.
Wrong.
Not
So
true.
Hold on. I'll tell you something that my father told me when I was 10 years old. A stiff dick has no conscience.
Okay, let me ask you this. And I don't want to get too explicit because it's not my thing. I'm not into this stuff. But can you sleep with an ugly woman?
I have.
Okay. How do you even get to the point to be prepared to if you're not aroused?
Well, I don't know. Go ahead, Daly.
Yo, I don't think he understanding that.
Sometimes it's homosexual, you know. You need
Nah. All right, whatever she talking about. Hold up. Yo, Aaron, what you missing out on is that just because she ugly don't mean she ain't got titties. Don't mean she ain't got a nice ass booty. That don't make her.
No, I'm not missing out on it. That is exactly what attraction is. See, the thing is y'all have to distinguish beautiful and attraction. I'm doing just fine with that. I'm telling you, most women are attractive. That's what I'm saying.
If you add in the body and stuff, as soon as I said it, I wanted to take it back. But I see what you mean, because the body is part of her, of why you're attracted
You're
to
gonna
her. So he
find
right.
a level of attraction is the point. I'm not saying women walking around they drop dead gorgeous, but most women are attracted. If me and Lee just walk outside on the day, I bring you to the city, like, bro, let's just walk outside. We're gonna see a bunch of women and be like, oh, she cool, she cool. Nah, I would pick her. She bad, and then it's gonna be mostly all right.
Then by that same argument,
like,
then most men are attractive.
I don't make arguments about the attraction
Well,
of men.
you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know how we estimate or value the attractiveness of a male, Aaron. You're a
I
man.
never made a claim of anything other than that.
Okay. Now, brothers, I know
My
when
claim
you got
is that an ugly man with money can get women. An ugly
any
woman
with money.
An ugly
But I wouldn't even. My bad. Go ahead.
An ugly woman with money.
She could definitely get dudes too. You bugging? She could get me. What you talking about? Anyway,
for him. She's paying for him. She's not getting
and
that
then,
man.
but
Have you
that's the
never
point.
seen men who marry
The guy
rich
paying
women?
for the women too, though.
Have you never
But it's the vice versa.
But have you never seen men who will marry a rich girl that they don't even like, cheat on her the entire time? That's what happens to the ugly women.
Get out of the movies, Flora.
Same thing happens to
Flora,
the men.
get out of the movie.
Cheating has nothing
Yo,
to
the
do
same
with
thing
our
happens to the
income.
men. Are you
Cheating has
joking? The
nothing
same
to do
thing
with our
happens to the
income.
men. What are you talking about?
The women aren't.
Yeah,
I'm literally right next
with
to his.
income.
Hold on, no, wait. Let's hear what Flora is saying makes sense. Let me just tell you something, Flora. You're 100% wrong, and let me tell you why. Most men to women are unattractive,
and that's
disagree. That's a fact. That's not. This is not even debatable. You can check all of the studies.
80%.
Yeah, I would say it's high up to 80%. At least 70 to 80% women are unattracted to those men. And
so using dating app stats does not work.
I don't
aren't the people who are getting married and having children.
Listen to what I'm. Okay, listen, Flora. I'm trying to allow you to have the conversation, right? Listen to what I'm saying, right? At the threshold for beauty, right? For what? If I asked you right now, who is more beautiful, men or women? You know what you would say? Flora, do you know what you would say if I asked you who's more beautiful?
You would have to show me who you're asking me is more beautiful, because there are men that I will tell you are more attractive than women.
In a general sense, do you think there are more attractive women or more attractive men?
There's probably more attractive women.
The threshold for a man to attract you is much higher than the threshold for a woman to attract a man.
I disagree. You can hang around me for a month and I will suddenly be attracted to you. Proximity literally can create attraction. I disagree.
So women are very selective. How many attractive guys do you see on a day-to-day basis when you go outside and about? Where you're like, ooh, he look good. How often?
It depends. If I'm going to work out and grocery shop, I'm probably gonna see more attractive males than if I'm at work. Or what's another thing? I can't think. Like work. I'm not gonna see a lot of attractive males at work, but I'm probably gonna see a lot of attractive males at the gym or the grocery store.
In your day-to-day life, use any age you want. When you're walking down the street, when you go anywhere you go, do you see a good amount of attractive men, or do you normally say there's really not that many attractive guys? Or do you just?
I see a good amount of attractive men. Yeah. I mean, where I'm at, but I live in a city, so it's a lot of people. It's concentrated. It's not hard to find an attractive person, but
if that was the case, men and women would be getting together left and right. Men would never complain ever about getting women because women are so attracted to men. Women are not attracted to most men. They are very, very selective, and they find most men unattractive. That is what all of the studies say. They do not find, let's say, 60% of men attractive. They don't. Not more than half. They do not. It's less than half.
I'm gonna say I probably need to. Lee, you're chugging alcohol on camera, but I'm probably gonna need to look into that because the only stats I've seen were from dating apps, and I don't think those are the right people to ask.
Listen. Look at my girl Keisha, because I can't be in the chat. Just because y'all attractive doesn't mean we like y'all.
Yep.
Use words correctly. Okay, so if you're attracted to somebody, you're not going to like them.
So you've never heard the term as soon as he was cute until he started talking, or she was cute until he started talking. Just like what she said, you're not just because someone's attractive doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna be a potential mate or even somebody you.
That's not what he asked.
Okay.
He asked just because they're annoying or whatever. Does that mean that you're going to lose attraction? The answer is no. You can probably find them obnoxious,
Aaron,
but I'm still going to think she got a nice ass, though. If that's
Hold
what
on,
you,
is
if
that
that's
what you
your
asked, Aaron? I don't think that was what you asked.
Okay, what was my question then, Flora?
You asked me, damn it, Lee.
See, Flora, you're not slick.
He distracted me. I literally freaking had it, and then he started talking. You didn't ask me that, though. You know you did.
You're not that slick. You just took the opportunity to say that wasn't exactly what my words were verbatim, and you know that. So you tried the opportunity, but you don't remember what I said either because you're not a phenomenal listener.
Yeah, but attractiveness versus like actually wanting to be with the person. It doesn't mean there aren't attractive men.
Listen. Do you have to want to be with somebody to sleep with them?
I don't know about y'all, but yeah. I don't know about y'all, but for me, yes.
See, don't do that. See, you're willing to speak for
women.
No.
Does not mean we all feel that way.
No. You're willing to speak for women when it's time. And then when you get back in the corner, it's like, I can only speak for me. This is what the trouble with having conversations with women.
But do you really think every woman? Okay, fine. I'll be genuine since I see women are actually getting annoyed with me too. Whatever y'all want me to do or answer, I'll answer it.
Jesus Christ. I need to get rid of this level of patience that I have. This is the complex part about having conversations with women.
Women don't fuck random dudes like that.
Damn, he just right in the middle of what he's saying.
I'm reading chats. I'm just saying that's what people are saying.
Yeah, Fatty's told me I could use that.
Yeah, get her the fuck out of
I'm not gonna even let you even get in my ear. I need a break from her because she lies too much. She's disingenuous and engaged in the conversation.
Super disingenuous, bro. She don't know what she's talking about.
That the majority of women are not attracted. They walking past, get away from me, It takes them a while to see a guy be like, ooh. So what? I have these conversations with women all the time. They know that. That's why they say it ain't a lot of guys to pick from. Because they're willing to sleep with guys that ain't even got no money if he looked the part.
If he attracted on God,
having trouble finding men
on fucking God, bro.
You know what I'm saying? That must mean that they ain't.
But if you look at it, right, a lot of women, one thing I like about women is that most women know they are not qualified for the guy that approached them. That is why they would rather approach a guy that they are either qualified for or the guy is not even qualified for them. So they will go for Pookie and Rere, just like she said, right? Because that's what most women are qualified for. I'm sorry to say this. Because number one, they are overweight. Number two, their attitude. There is a reason why 56% or 52% of men in this country are neither married or single, neither married or have kids. There is a reason why for that, because most women are not qualified for those men. They are underqualified. So those men can't find women that meet what they need. So what those men do, they rather stay single than to get involved, even have their child. They don't even want to, just like Gary said. They don't even want these women to have their child because they are not qualified to be a mother to their own seed. There is a reason why I never had kids until I got married. You know why? Throughout my adult age, until I married when I was 39, right? No woman out there was worthy to have my child, because they're not worthy to be mothers. These women are not worthy to be mothers. That's why these guys that's why 52% of the men are single or childless.
Well,
There's the reason for that.
Well, I think we've already destroyed this 100K thing. Women like the choice, right? Because I believe this, right? If a woman wants to fart inside of a jar, right, and sell it to a guy for $50 to $100, right? That's none of our business, right? But I would argue that that's taking advantage of somebody. Would you agree?
Nope. I say that dude is just a dummy and deserves to lose his money. Because anybody that's going to pay for draws, farts, and all this stuff is just crazy in my head.
So I agree. She should have a choice to be able to sell her products to anybody that she wants. Just like I agree, a broke dude should be able to bust down a chick if she want to get with him, instead of telling all these chicks, oh, stay away from broke guys. No, let the broke guys do their thing too. It's their choice. They want to rock with broke guys, let them rock with it. Why are we trying to exclude broke men from all these conversations, but women get unlimited choice? They could be 20 and getting money from a man that's 65 years old, and men won't say nothing. We won't protect the men that we know they've been taken advantage of. We know they are. But we'll let women just run rapid and take advantage of men. But the second they want to say, oh, broke men can't have no fun, broke men can't be chosen, I think that's a little messed up. I think it's a little messed up.
I agree with you. Every man should be able to get, whether you're broke or rich, because I don't know why you brothers forgot you are the prize. Stop letting these women say, I ain't want to be with you. You don't want to be with them.
I got you, Gary Grant. I'm about to take us to the prize right now. Shout out to Tio says most men find most women attractive. I agree 100%.
Most men are horny. It's not that they find them attractive; they're just horny.
You got to be attractive, though. You got to be attracted to him to smash him. You saw that girl with that pancake booty and that crazy look, those crazy thighs. You ain't look at her for a second. That's what he's talking about. You ain't get her a moment's notice.
I'm not about to fight Gary on this. I'm just telling you that that's my humble opinion, and he has his. That's my brother, so we're gonna have to agree to understand that when he walking down the street and he see women, he see a bunch of ugly women first and a few good looking women. I see a bunch of attractive women all the time. I don't think they baddies, but I think they're attractive, right? And so that's a back and forth. But I don't want to fight with him. But shout out to AL. My guy, he says most women have no clue what most men actually make. I don't disagree with that, but I'll tell you this. Are you following the laws that states are starting to make where you have to have visible salaries, salary ranges, and things like that? And then we can compare fields. And the younger generation are very open about their money. This taboo conversation about how much you making, are you Republican or Democrat, is no longer secretive like it used to be back in the day. People are outspoken. They don't like the secrets. They don't like you hiding behind things. So it is a lot of ways to find out how much people are making. But I get your point. But I'm telling you now, there are ways for people to find out. And a lot of the times they do research, even if they don't understand money, AL. They don't understand money, but they can find out how much money you make. They just don't understand the other aspect. But let me get into this other point right here, right? Because I got my – hold on. Let me pull this up. Give me 1 second. Because this is one of the things I wanted to talk about today. Pull this up. There we go. Oh, here we go. There it is. There it is. Let me unmute that and play.
Saying there's a shift in gender roles.
To a certain degree.
The women don't want the shift. They want they are not budging on that. They a lot of especially on social media, they are not with splitting bills. They don't want to hear none of that, but they want the man to come take some of the things out of their hands and the things that have been traditionally been women's role. That's my problem, is that if we're going to shift and we're going to share, let's both do it. No, not just try to keep me in a certain place, but then come take the other things off of things that you've traditionally done.
Overall, I think a lot of women just want a little bit more help, whether you're helping to hire somebody to help her with certain things or certain services with the childcare. They want help in doing that. And I don't think that that's wrong. I think women do a lot.
Yeah, there's not been the type of income that's been coming into the homes as there is now, but the women are still saying the men are supposed to do all of this stuff and they don't want to split bills. Men need help too. They're saying there's a shift in.
I find that to be a very, very interesting video. Very, very interesting video, actually. Because you heard her say, women want more help. So women aren't necessarily the helpmeets and whatnot. Women want more help. Now, there's a couple thoughts that I have. One is that the help that women want is typically from their mother, typically from their dad, right? Granddaddy, grandmother. They used to be a big component of growing the children, right? That is not necessarily the case that it used to be. Now they telling you, oh, look, listen, I already raised you already. I ain't having no more kids. That's not my kids. You do that, right? So they have disbanded the community aspect of raising children. Now, for the ones that do, I'm gonna say this and they ain't gonna like it, ladies. It's on you to have a strong relationship with your mother. It's on you to have a strong relationship with your father if you want to drop your kids off on them. You got to make sure that relationship 100 if you want to rely on them for the support. But instead, what you want to do is you want to pay somebody to come be around your family. Because when you say we want more support, you want to pay for people to come into your house. You want to pay for people to be around your kids and family. That is dangerous. And most men are not open to that, not because they don't have no money, because they uncomfortable with having a bunch of weird people in their home. Now, that's one aspect, right? That's one aspect, right? I don't see that stuff happening. I see parents is just throwing off they throwing off, hey, I'm not watching your kids. I raised you. I want to live my life now, because parents sacrifice some things and now they want to go on vacation, things like that. That's all on you. So that's a destruction of breakdown, right? But here's another thing, right? That I believe that what's his name? Gary can kind of speak to, because hey, security boss.
Hey y'all.
I think I'm about to get in trouble now. I don't know what I done now. But I was behaving well.
Good night.
He said good night. I don't know what that is, SB.
Mr. Greg said good night. I don't know if I did something to him.
No. Like I'm a little older. See, when somebody comes home for in the evening, you say good night. Sorry, not my bad. You just came in on the scene. I had to say good night, right?
Okay.
Yo, I think that mentality that she just gave us was beta female mentality. I think she's a hobosexual.
I think she's being honest.
I know she's being honest, but that's not all women, and she can't speak for all women when she say that, because there's women that have goals, aspirations, and those women don't want to just sit in the house and be taken care of. So,
well, let me.
I think she's just a hobosexual. Yeah, go play
no. Let me play it one more time, because I pay attention. I think this is a very honest. I think women are being honest.
Saying there's a shift in gender roles
to a certain degree.
The women don't want the shift. They want to protect and provide. They are not budging on that. A lot of, especially on social media, they are not with splitting bills. They don't want to hear none of that. But they want the man to come take some of the things out of their hands and the things that have traditionally been women's role. That's my problem, is that if we're going to shift and we're going to share, let's both do it. No, not just try to keep me in a certain place, but then come take the other things off of the things that you've traditionally done.
Overall, I think a lot of women just want a little bit more help, whether you're helping to hire somebody to help her with certain things or certain services with the childcare. They want help in doing that. And I don't think that that's wrong. I think women do a lot.
Yeah, there's not been the type of income that's been coming into the homes as there is now, but the women are still saying the men are supposed to do all of this stuff and they don't want to split bills. Men need help too. They're saying there's a shift in.
So it's a lot in that to unpack, right? Because what I hear so much stuff. I hear that from women all the time. I hear them say, I don't want kids, which means unless I have a nanny, because if you hear them say, what if you was messing with Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Would you have kids? Oh, well, yeah, because we'll have nanny. Kim Kardashian don't watch her own kids. When a woman hears that she has to take care of the kids by herself, even though it's never exactly by herself, but, they don't tend to like that. They don't like it very much. And I hear them say, no, I'd rather not have kids. I need help. When women start saying things like that, it's because they believe it's too much pressure on them. And so
I agree. Help with kids is they should want help with kids, but the mentality of thinking that a man's supposed to do everything when y'all kind of took a bunch of equity out of the workforce from us, It just doesn't make sense. And I think there's a lot of women out there that agree with what he's saying. And I think what he's saying profound because I'm glad he's saying it. I'm glad dudes out here like, yo, I'm not about to just pay everything because that mentality is washed, bro. That shit is so washed. There's no need for you to be sitting there taking care of a woman and then what? So she got all this time and to do what? You know what I mean? Like you go have your shorty just home all day doing what?
No.
On Instagram? Like go do something.
Most women don't do that if there are children involved. Women are not
Oh,
just
you keep going back to
children involved. If it ain't no children involved, you know me, I'm gonna be all on hand. Like no.
Well, that's what I'm talking about because I ain't talking about the shorties that got kids. I mean, those women, that's a whole different type of situation.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to kids, women do a lot of work. I know nobody takes that from them. I think this is the difference that I noticed. Women want to be overtly appreciated. Overtly. Like they want to hear you reaffirm things. They want to hear the constant letting them know how great they are. Men don't need it constantly, but every once in a while, a little bit, thank you. So women constantly need it, and men don't often provide that. Men don't often constantly reaffirm and say this, that, and yes, you're great. They don't constantly do that. And that's something that I think women actually want because they want to feel value in the role that they do because they haven't figured out how to properly value their role. They believe that it's not, they don't believe they're getting the proper just due or the respect that they think is from the role of being a mom and all that. Because this is why they're turning it down. Because if you think that being the CEO of a company is a better role and they're all opening these businesses, that means they believe that's valuable. They believe they see that they have value in that. And they're turning down children, which means they don't see that there's value in being a mother. So I don't know how to close that gap. I don't know how we get women to see that the most value that you truly have is being a mother, a wife, a family, as opposed to being a CEO and things like that. I don't know how to close that gap
because you can't. You can't. It's not your job to. There's going to be a certain. Go ahead.
I think you can. I'm just not sure exactly how.
Well, I think.
No, I don't think. I mean, there's always going to be. My bad. Sorry.
I think what women can do, or what we should encourage women to do, is to elevate themselves and to raise their standards. I think that women not traditionally, but for a time now, women have been just falling for just whatever, and they can't trust what it is that they want. Meaning they have had experiences with men that did not make them their wives or did not make them, their wives. And it's left them like with a bitter taste in their mouth per se. But if they were to raise their standards and elevate themselves and say, you know what, I'm going to preserve myself until this person, or I meet the man that is willing to make me his wife. And then they would see that there's a different man from the man that I just dated. Being married is totally different than just dating. And it may be hard to see that as a single person. The relationship definitely changes. So in a marriage relationship, if a woman takes that on, then she needs to understand that I'm the helpmate. I even suggest to most people, as far as money goes, to go one pot. So we don't have that distrust about money. Everybody's putting their money in 100% in one pot, and both parties know exactly what's going on. So we don't have to worry about all that. What you doing? And I'm contributing 50-50. I'm doing more than you're doing. And then as far as kids go, you be intentional about when you have children. If you don't become ready, then you don't become ready. But you definitely need to figure out how to be a wife before you bring on kids anyway.
I think
Can I ask a question real quick? When you say raise your standards, what do you mean? Like you talking about like she raised her
bums who don't have money or
hold up, nobody talking to you. You got no value to add. Go ahead.
When I say raise your standards, I mean, I don't know what women are typically doing, but if it's not yielding them the responses or the men that they want, they need to raise their standards. So for instance, if they're dating men and they're giving themselves to the men and submitting to men sexually, and they have no intentions and the man have no intentions with them, then that's a wrong thing to do. They need to raise their standards and say, you know what, I'm not sleeping with this man because he doesn't have any intentions for me. And then when they decide to do it, they need to decide, well, I want the man that looks like this. I don't want the man that hangs out in the nightclub every Friday night. I don't want the man to go on long trips or whatever it is that they don't desire or whatever it is they've had problems with in their past. They need to become a different person. The only way you get a better man is to become a different woman, and a better woman yields a better man.
I agree with that 100%. When you say only way to go ahead. Somebody say something.
No, go ahead, Aaron. I was going to say something. Go ahead. I got it on.
I agree. I agree. I don't believe in changing people. I believe in making a change in myself, and people acquiesce to it. When they see you're changing, by default, they see like, oh, there's a shift here. Because when you, even if you're not wrong, right, you think that the other person is going to have to change because you're in the right, but that actually doesn't work. When you make the change in yourself, the world around you shifts. But unfortunately, it's hard to get people to do that when they're not wrong. It's a very complicated thing.
Well, I mean, they don't have to be wrong. You know, you can just make a decision. That's what I'm saying. If you stick to your standards, and I'm not talking about preferences. I'm not talking about 6 feet, good looking, all of that. I'm talking about your standards, things that you have to live with.
But he can beat all your standards and still like just lie to you about a bunch of shit just to hit it. So like it is a bunch of attractive women out there that would be like, yo, I raised my standards and I went for this specific guy, and unless you're telling them to not have sex until she married, that would probably be your only out right there, is to say don't have sex with a man until you get married, because a dude could, he could string you along, and it's a game to some of these dudes, especially the ones that know that they fit the criteria of being attractive, being all the things that not just one woman want, or one category or one race of women, but multiple races of women want. And they know how to maneuver through that scenario that you given when you say raise your standards. So now you got a bunch of women going after these guys because they're gonna know automatically you're talking about money, you're talking about status. You gotta be. You can't say that and be talking about women. Okay, so women don't. Okay, so what do women value in men then? Don't they value protection and security? Don't those two things have to come with you having money and some type of status? Or not even status, like some type of
construction worker can afford to keep their wife at home. Like you're doing too much.
You're going to when you say raise your standards, women are going to think that you talking about money. You talk about men that are more successful, and those you kind of throwing them into a trap, because those guys are the guys smashing all the women and dipping on them. It's a fact.
No, those are the dudes that go with the 80-20 rule.
Okay, what you saying?
20% of men are getting all the women, right? That's what you're gonna argue.
I'm about to buy it, bro.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I'm not saying USB. I'm saying that's always the argument in these conversations, is that, they're going for the same bad old guys. They're going for the same bad old guys. No.
It's a fact, though.
It's a fact. If that was the case, if what she was saying is the case, then it would be more women in relationships, right? It would be more women in relationships. Facts. Instead of them crying, talk about, we can't find this dude, we can't find that dude. Because they running into the dudes that she talked about, and those dudes are lying, running game, giving them everything, telling them everything they want to hear, and then once they get that box up, they got adios.
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about raise your standards as far as the character of man that you're looking for.
They only see that
it's not about
thing. I can easily put on. You think a wolf can't put a suit on? You think a wolf can't put a suit on?
It's not about a man. It's about her.
You think a wolf can't articulate itself? No, I'm just saying, like you making it seem like you making it seem like there's not men out there that don't love this game. And usually the men that love this game are the guys that got money, power, and respect. They love playing that little game that you talking about, where she try to hide it and try to act like she ain't gonna give it up. So he gonna put in her face, he gonna mirror exactly what she looking at, because it's dudes out there that could tell.
You're missing her point. What she's saying,
I'm spitting game right now.
You're talking to a different point that she's making, even if you are right.
What I'm saying,
but she's telling them to up their standards, and then she said a man character. So, you saying a man can't? She basically gave an analogy. You think a wolf can't fucking changes?
Hold on, let her explain what she means, man.
What I'm saying is, a woman. I'm not talking about a man. I'm talking about a woman. She has to change who she is in order to get the man that she wants. And if that means that she needs to preserve herself to wedding night, that is exactly what it means. Because otherwise she's getting it wrong. Otherwise she's getting it wrong. I'm not talking about the woman that you're talking about. Obviously not. Because money is not an issue. Because I also said one pot. So the money is never an issue, because every woman is not deserving of a man that makes 6 figures or $250,000. Who knows? I'm talking straight up character. If a woman wants a different man, then she has to present herself as a wife. I'm not talking about anything else. So the game that you're talking about, the woman I'm speaking of is not playing a game. She's actually putting in the work to become a
Why
wife.
don't you
They're
not play the game? What are you? What,
She's not playing a
Alright,
game.
whatever.
She's making a life decision. You don't play a game with your life.
He's
She's
looping
making a
all
life.
women as playing these games with men. Half of us would rather not even deal with y'all because that's all a lot of you guys do. And
I
that's
hate
the
when
point. It
people
doesn't
do
have
that,
any-
eh?
No, the
You
thing
can't
is this.
say
women I know
us.
who are
it's just that
celibate. You know how many women I know who are celibate?
Over 1,000.
you don't know many
I
women. I
don't
don't
know
believe you know
1,000
many women. So
I
you
know you
need
don't
to
know
stop.
1,000 people. So
Guys,
why would you say how many women you know
You don't
that are
even know
celibate?
many women.
Because I
So
see
you know many
you
women.
see more women
You don't
choosing
see
that
nothing,
route
bro.
versus
You
dating.
capping.
You
You in
don't
the
think
house.
it's hard.
Okay,
You explain why
wait,
you
celibate.
think it's hard because men lie.
Stop. We all
You
know.
lie. You wear a wig when you go on dates. You
Okay,
lie. What the
all
fuck you
right,
talking
all
about?
right.
Men lie.
Lee,
You
do you
put on
want one?
makeup and hide the
Lee,
true
do you
face
want
that you
one?
have. You
Lee, do
lie.
you want a wig?
Like
Lee, I've had men buy me them, so I don't know what you're talking about.
you never had a man buy you cat.
That is an LGBTQ issue, I guess.
Stop. Look, you have to understand, right?
Straight for the wig.
The issue that we're having is this, right? What SB is saying is I 100% agree with. I have been on women's line about their lack of honor because they have such a low standard, right? The whole thing when I say, oh, this body count thing, they think that it's about insecurities. It's about an honor thing. If you are completely happy with sleeping with 45 guys, then be happy about it. But if you don't want to talk that you slept with 45 guys, it's something you're not happy about. You can't do dishonorable things of what you deem honorable and want an honorable man. That's very difficult to accomplish. It's very difficult. So when you find men that move on principles and standards, what you find that women most likely do is can't live up to those standards. So they'll try to shy to a guy in which they have more balance because there's nothing wrong with being controlled by a man, especially if it's the man you want to be controlled by. See, that's the problem that women are having. I don't want to be controlled by no man. You absolutely do if it's the right man. The right man has the right level of control, right? But y'all can't get those guys because y'all not moving in honor. And this is the stuff that I have problems with because I'm like, all right, so you telling me your past don't matter. But the past does matter because we have to justify your actions, your characters, and things that you've done to build things up. You can't just erase everything, but it seems like because you can't actually factually do things that they say, then don't worry about it. No, I think it's an issue. And I think that's a lot of the problem that we're having these days is the lack of honor. I have no idea what wigs are lies. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. I don't get what you're saying. So that's part of the issue that I've been having, but I think I pretty much align with SB here. The one thing that I know that's not going to happen is that younger people are not doing the one pot. I got studies that I'm reading up on, and they're not into that. They're just not.
Right, but what you was about to say though?
Women though, that's the key thing. I know the hesitation for the men, right? Because typically I'm putting more into the pot. Not all the time, but typically because you're requesting that. I need a man that I can respect. Typically, when a woman say that, they want a man that's outperforming them. It is what it is. It's the worst words to have to use because we have to put in words the actions of men. So when I say outperform, they're looking at a man like, okay, what you doing for a living? How much? How often you in this house? Can you do this, and that? So it's a performance thing, even though in real life people wouldn't talk like this because they would just do. So people confuse having to say things on panels and put verbiage into words that people don't say this stuff in real life. Their actions are what is existing in real life. And so men and women, the younger ones, I'll probably do a show on this, are not down with the one pot rule. They're just not down with it. They want a level of independence.
Well, look, Aaron, this is what I wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
Because I'm just gonna go back to what you were saying about the value of like, you know, being a mother and things like that. Man, Aaron, you can tell a woman, you can validate her, you can tell her that she's doing a good job. But if these women don't see that being a mother or a wife is a rewarding thing, they won't care. Whatever you say to them, bro, it don't matter, Aaron. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like at the end of the day,
the problem is it's so difficult to actually nail it down, because what I'm seeing happen is that women are saying, I'll have a kid, but I don't want to get married now. So they actually do see the value in a kid. They're seeing less value in the man or the husband. So like, that's the crazy thing. I'll be a mom, but if I make enough money, I can take care of my kids just in case I can't trust a man, just in case a man's going to do something to me. So they actually do see value in children, but it's a back and forth shift. Some of them just don't. And then some of them see value in children minus men.
So if they feel value in the children, we just seen the whole clips talking about most women won't help with the children.
Yes. That doesn't mean they don't value them, though. That, like, you got to understand what women are saying, right? Because taking care of children is a hard thing to do. I'm actually down for it. I'm pretty good at it. I have no problems with it. I can be a stay-at-home husband, right? I have the right temperament. I don't have ego issues. Like, that stuff don't bother me. I know how to communicate. It's not a problem with me. I know how to
most men would say that though, as far as
no,
when
because
they have
most men don't have a safe enough environment to express that. Because there are a lot of men who have a better temperament than women nowadays when it comes to dealing with children. The problem is this, and this is the thing that women are going to struggle with. Women want you to parent how they would parent. So if they're going to allow you to be at home and take care of the kid, they would want you to clean that dish.
Exactly,
right?
Do exactly what they want to do.
This is important. I don't want them to miss this. Women will want a man to operate as them, as if they were actually there. I can't wash the dish the same way you do it. I do it like this, and you like, nah, I hit the woo woo with the woo. It's just true. They if they see you do something, they like, nah, it's easier when I do it. So
and then you know what a man do. A man will say, well, you know what, I'm gonna let you do it, and then when you let them take charge, now you're not doing. Now you're not helping them.
But see, that's where the confliction is. We don't have that level of understanding, and that's what I'm saying. Men can be good parents. It's just, do women view men as a good parent? Because we parent differently, and that's where the clash is.
I feel like we might do it. I feel like we might do it way better than them, and they don't.
Well, it doesn't matter if you feel like we might do it way better.
Not even feel like. I really think that we'll do way better than them. Far as
no. Even if you use the word "think," do women think that to be true? Because they're the other aspect you got to deal with. See, this isn't a battle for me.
Most of the time, this is the thing. See, okay, okay, Aaron. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to mess up your panel, but I don't want to. Got it. It's more so. Women don't want to. These today women don't want to be parents, but they don't want to have a baby, bro. You get what I'm saying?
That's not necessarily true. They want a baby in perfect circumstances, and that's the issue. You're not going to be in a perfect circumstance when you have a child. A lot of women that have children will tell you, I was scared. I didn't know what we was going to do, but we just fought through it. And now you like, I love my mom. I love my dad. They took such great care of me. But do you know the type of atmosphere they were in? See, children are making decisions about what they think that their parents went through, and they don't want to go through that. They have no idea. They too young. They don't really understand. So these younger kids are trying to get in a perfect environment and then create children because they think it's going to be easier, because most people are looking at life for what's easier instead of understanding life is difficult and hard. Embrace it and adjust continuously. They think if they plug this hole, then we floating on a boat. There should not be that many issues we can't overcome. And that's where they're having, I think, a misstep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's internet, because if they believe that, then they foolish, because that ain't life.
No, but I don't think that got to do with relationships.
Ain't never been peaches and creams. It would never.
I don't think that has to do with relationships, though. That's making women not want to have kids. I just think that it's more to live for these days. You know, it's just more to do. And having a kid restricts you from that. And a lot of women don't want that restriction, especially the ones that are able to get a lot of attention from men. And they know, like, yo, when I'm out in the world, dudes are fucking bowing down to me and shit because of how I look. Those women are like, fuck that. And I agree with them, because, yo, you getting... Like, what's this having a baby shit? It's enough humans out here, fam. I know y'all don't want to think that, and y'all want women to just be like receptacles or like pods or whatever for y'all future world. Hold up, I was muted. But they got a mindset too, and it's not just about let me get married to some dude, have a baby, and sit down for 18 to 20 years, or maybe 5 or 10 before they can start to do stuff. But I'm talking about attractive women. I'm not talking about women that fall below or women that are average. I'm talking about the ones, a specific version of women. So if you are not that, you shouldn't even be speaking to it.
No, that's fine, Lee. Let me get to T.O. He says,
I get what you're
until
saying,
the
though, Lee.
vast majority of the nation
I do
starts.
get what you're saying.
1 second, guys. Until the vast majority of the nation starts shaming again, their legs gonna stay open like 7-Eleven. And if they fall in some trouble, just like play victim, blame men. It's easy. Well, that's the world that we live in, and we have to operate accordingly. So this is another point I want to bring to y'all, right? The conversation about traditional roles like this, right? I've already shown you that part of the issue is the relationship that people have with their parents. They haven't solidified that relationship to the point where their parents are grateful to bring those grandbabies around and come on, be around, because honestly, we are people that move around a lot. Our cousins ain't in our neighborhood no more. We ain't grow up. We move past each other. Unfortunately, we don't have those close connections that we used to. Y'all remember growing up, all your cousins live around you. Everybody in the same city. Y'all close enough to get together. Family everywhere. That has since taken a backseat to a lot of movement, right? So this is a point I want to bring to y'all when they speak about tradition, right? This is for the men, right? When it comes to marriage, right? Traditionally, right? Because people like to pick and choose when they want to speak about tradition, right? Here is the actual truth. I'm going to share the screen with you guys so you guys can get some understanding about this. And this is going to hurt a lot of feelings, but this is the truth. When it comes to getting married, traditionally, the bride's family is to pay for the marriage.
Yeah.
That's what happens. The bride family is to pay for a marriage, yada, 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 yada. Right here, here's the important point. What does the bride family pay for? Well, they're usually responsible for most, if not all, of the wedding. Sometimes, and a lot of times, the engagement party as well. They hiring at the venues. The bride's parents should cover the cost to hire for the entertainment, cost of food. Guests typically can pay for their own drinks, right? The bride's family typically cover the cost of both the wedding, the ceremony. Reception includes venue hire, ceremony fees, food, drinks sometimes at the table, entertainment.
Crazy.
Right?
Pay for everything,
listen. Flowers, decorations.
Everything.
The bride, listen. The bride's parents pay for the wedding dress. So pay attention, right? This is the requirements of the bride's family. Y'all want to talk tradition? We're going to talk. Now, ladies,
rich people should get married.
If your parents can't pay for y'all wedding, then you don't get married then you don't get a wedding. If y'all want to be traditional, right? Y'all want to hold traditional roles, protect, provide, even though we in a different environment of what that looks like, y'all parents going to have to pony up and stay on this tradition and pay for these marriages and these weddings and stuff. Because I think it's fair because y'all asking for it just as much as the men want it. But that's something the bride's family has traditionally provided for. And we've gone away from that to the man need to pay for everything. He need to pay for the wedding, the house, all these things is what's happening and what's requested. And if a woman has to participate, she ain't gonna like it. And it's unfortunate, but it's what's happening in truth. So I would like for women to understand, if you're not getting married, if a man say he ain't got no money for the marriage, say, don't worry, my family gonna pay for it because I'm a traditional woman. How does that sound? Does that sound like good tradition right there?
But you got something bad there, Aaron. You don't have tradition women today. You have modern women. So that's all.
You have modern men too. You got modern men too.
Aaron, I think that's a good idea. But you know what? If your parents can't do it, just take her to the courthouse. If she's willing to marry you there, might be somebody you're willing to marry.
That's not the tradition, though, SB. I understand we need to be.
If you don't have the money.
I understand. So if we don't have the money, right, we make changes. See,
we shouldn't get married.
But listen, when it comes to these men and making more money, ain't no understanding.
Let's be live. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Let's be live. Mm-hmm. What if you? I don't know if you're married or not, but what if your soon-to-be husband would tell you that he don't got the money for the marriage? What would you think, and how would you feel about that situation?
Before you answer that, SB, AJ Most, I'm not very familiar with you. Are you familiar with my content, or you just randomly popped up?
No, I watched it a little bit here and there when I get a chance to. Today
Okay,
was one of them days where I was
fair
going to
enough.
go on
I just
live.
wanted to get a baseline because me and SB, we spent a lot of time together. She's been on my
Okay.
show a lot, so
Oh, all right.
for you to be unfamiliar with her, that's why I had to check. But go ahead, you can ask the question if you
No,
want.
I'm not unfamiliar with her, but I just again, I just don't. I don't listen a lot. I work a lot, so but I do hear her here and there. Little things here and there. So, but I don't know if she's married or not. That's one thing I don't know.
Then
So
you don't
I
know
just wanted
her
to
at
know from
all.
a woman's perspective
Fair
on
enough,
that.
brother. I did what I could do. SB, it's up to you if you like to respond.
Okay, to answer your question, I am married. Been married 27 years. My husband and I was actually shacking up and was convicted by it. So we went to the courthouse and got married. And that was fine. We were supposed to have a wedding a year later. Never got to the wedding. I've been married 27 years since then. So it wouldn't matter to me.
Congratulations. Congratulations. That's beautiful.
I
But
only
I don't think the modern women these days are going to go for that.
Well, listen, probably
Go
not.
for
But
the
you still
courthouse wedding.
you're
You
still
bugging.
looking for a wife. That's something that men have to keep in mind.
That's
You're
true.
still looking for a wife.
I'll be honest with you, right? And this is even for me, who I think I do a really good job at reading women, right? But I don't overestimate my abilities, right? I do believe that women will possibly hold a grudge towards you if they never got that wedding. If they never got it, I just listen. In this day and age, the women that we dealing with, I do believe if you dealing with a woman, she likes you, she gonna go to the courthouse. I believe she will. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, dang, she might hold this a little bit against in the future. I mean, listen, I gotta be understanding here.
She should be mad at her father.
But it was still an option, though. It was still
But
an
that's
option.
just your masculine
I'm not
mindset.
knocking it. I'm
It
just
was
saying
still
I
an
believe
option.
women gonna hold a little resentment.
It was still an option. It was still on the table at this point. About a year later, though, I was like, wow, we've been married a year now, so let's buy an investment property. It was totally different. Things changed for me when I got married.
So,
She should
Aaron,
be
are you
mad at her
saying my
father.
girl holds a grudge against me since I've been with her for 25 years and we're
No,
not
so
married?
no, Mr. Gary Grant, not you specifically, brother. What I said was the women that men are dealing with now, they're in such an environment where it's so interactive to be in other people's lives, right? See, I grew up where we ain't have the internet, and I grew up in the internet. I got the both experiences, right? A lot of people don't necessarily have that. The younger people only know one thing, and so their perspective is a lot more, I would say myopic in the sense of they think that when they see other people, that's a normalized thing. They think that's how it's supposed to be. And they also believe that we're in a more egalitarian type of place. We're trying to push to that. So if she can get it or if he has it, why can't I do it? And that's the thing. People don't accept, like I accept, we different. I don't get what you get. So it's just not there. And I believe women deep down in my heart, these women will have a slight little grudge. And if you build up enough grudges in other areas that they ain't get, it's going to be a problem. In that wedding, I'm just saying, I
In
could be
the
wrong.
beginning
Take that
stages,
time
if
to
she
say
likes romantic movies, show her father or the bride.
Listen, marriage hasn't changed. It's the people that are changing. But that to me, that's just a red flag to who's getting married. If marriage requires a certain amount of sacrificing, I mean, you can't just want what you want. You got to make sure your husband or your man is being taken care of and yourself. And if a person is not willing to do that, either party, you're not the marrying type. Just admit it. Do what you do until you get to a point where you realize life is not just here. There's long term. I noticed and I hear what y'all call modern people. Y'all don't think long term. You just think in the moment. You think through your 30s or to 30 and then you're done. Life is long. I mean, it goes a long way.
I agree with that. And I
You
think
have to
the
go for it,
conversation. Are you done? Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I agree with that in regards to like the long-term game. And like pretty much this conversation is based on two sides. One side just wanting to combat the idea that some people actually do prioritize certain things to be able to get certain results. And the other side is just like, yeah, there is chaos in the world, and most of the time you can't control chaos, right? So in saying that, it's pretty much whichever side you pick. I don't see what the real argument is, because essentially we're all living whatever life we're supposed to be living. So in regards to the women's dynamic and what they're adapting to, that's part of life. It's every stage of life always iterates. Right now, it's more on the YouTube phase in which everybody's just ingesting a bunch of content and they're thinking that's the practical way life works. Prior to that, there was Disney Channel, there was Nickelodeon. All of these things essentially programmed us to prioritize certain things. So taking that away from that, that's just nature at its course, nonetheless. But the chaos aspect of it, you can control it if you actually pay attention to the people that are trying to direct you in the right way, in the right path. But if you want to stay in the chaos, there's always going to be the repercussions for it. Because the funny thing is, the dynamic of people that were actually very loose in the past, when you see them now, it's almost like, damn, you worn the fuck out. Like, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. Something seems off, right? In some cases, right? I'm not generalizing it. I'm just saying in some cases, when you look at them, it's like you're actually missing something. You're kind of empty somehow. There's a sense of emptiness that I can sense from you. But I mean, and also it ties back to cultural norms, right? If you're consistently seeing it, if you were going to see it, then you appreciate it. If you're not, there's nothing in your train of thought to actually sit back and reference to. So then that's where the chaos is. But nonetheless, the thing about nature, it always balances itself from what I've seen.
Yeah, but I think it's mostly fear. I mean, I think the trauma that they had just having relationships, and for men it's child support, for women is guys cheating. So that fear right there is going to cultivate something where they don't want to make a commitment because they just fear that it's going to happen. Every relationship they're going to fear somebody's cheating. Every relationship they're going to fear that the thing that happened previously is going to happen now. So that marriage and ideal of marriage don't even come up because the fear is already convoluted to their mind. So marriage is like, oh, you want me to forever?
See,
Forever?
I think
Right.
y'all see. I used to think that it was fear, right? And to a certain degree, there are a lot of fear, but I don't see people afraid to catch those diseases. I don't see people afraid to not have children. They have them, so I don't necessarily see it as fear. I think more what people are doing is that they have more information, they have more data. The stuff that our great grandparents couldn't get access to, oh, it's on our fingertips. Oh, we got cameras catching people. Like, we have so much more access to the world. And how our minds work and receive information, break it down and put it back out is what you're seeing what the world is dealing with right now. So
But
it's not
Exactly,
it's not
bro.
bigger. It's not bigger than the storytelling fear. It's not bigger than that. That fear, that storytelling fear of marriage,
People not
away,
afraid
not
to
being
go out
happy.
there. People not
That
afraid to go
fear.
out and live life, bro. It's
so
not just fear, bro. It's not
yeah,
fear.
what I'm
I
trying to
think
tell
it's
you is,
fear.
Moses, is that a woman to tell you, I want a man, I need a man that could protect me, right? I need to protect her, right? But she be at the club at 3 a.m. You don't have no man. How you feel comfortable being outside at night, 3 a.m. on your way to the
Because it's
club,
just a
things like
talking
that.
Because it's
point.
culture.
That's
But
It's
that's
crazy.
culture.
my
Being out
point.
3 o'clock in the morning is
So,
culture.
so that's
What you
my
mean that's
point.
culture? What are
It's
you
not
talking about?
necessarily fear. It's
It's
the
not.
environment. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but going out 3 o'clock in the morning after hours is a cultural thing, and they feel like
You don't think
I
it's
believe that they
dangerous?
feel like
Wait, but you're not getting the
Wait,
point that
wait,
he's
wait,
trying
wait,
to
wait,
make.
wait, wait. You let your let's just say 16 or 17 or 18-year-old daughter be out at night at 2 or 3 a.m.
no, of
So
course not.
do you think a woman that's 22 is stronger then and she can protect herself more than a 16, 17? Or you just think maybe she's more aware?
No, I think that she understands that the protection that she don't get from the man is going to get from 911. So they're gonna do these
You
things.
Making
bugging.
my point. That's what I'm
They're
trying to
gonna
What
say.
they're
to
gonna
pimp?
do
What
these
to
She's
things
pick
not
you up off
scared
the
regardless because it's
then.
ground?
culture.
Then she's not
Huh?
scared then. Because
Thank you.
911
Yo,
is
nah.
not going to
That's
get
what he
there no
trying to say.
time
That's
soon.
that's yeah. That's his
No,
analogy. Is that she like women are really not? They really not scared to be out there. They'll be out there. If they got a couple of them, all they need is like two or three of them. Sometimes I see just one of them out there,
She just got a
and
whole
she
bunch
out
of
there by
rooms for
herself. She
you.
don't care.
I mean that's a different thing. But I'm talking about marriage itself. Marriage itself is a fear in itself, different from going out in the world and being fearful.
She
And what
gonna
we
be in
saying,
that
and what
marriage
I'm saying is
especially at
this,
that
and what
club
I'm saying is
with
this:
all the
women are not
girls.
choosing to be with to be in marriage, and men are not too. It's on both sides. Both sides are
I agree with that.
understanding.
I agree with that.
Like he
Yeah.
said, like we got way more information. There's even us from these panels who was in the '90s. We didn't have cell phones and Facebook. Remember, like
Pages was on point.
pager, but we had to go to the. Remember going to the telephone to call somebody?
Oh yeah,
Like
the payphone
yo,
at the corner store.
right? Like yo, just think of it. And
Yeah.
then if you go even farther back to people that's 50, like imagine how hard communication was. Now it's like communication is like this, bro. A girl from Utah can meet a dude in Texas or a dude in San Francisco right now, and he could be like, "I will fly you out." He could book the thing on Airbnb, get a 10 days, 20 days,
Quick. Yeah.
15 days, 11 days. Like yo, imagine look at the power of that. Like yo,
So it's
y'all,
just more
boy.
distractions.
Airbnb, then take the Uber. Hey, I ain't gotta pick you up on a
They're
horse
not making that
or some
commitment
fucking
though. You're right.
carriage.
I agree with
I
y'all.
Uber you straight to the crib. I pull up in my own Uber, so you don't even see what car it is, so you can't come find me. Man,
Right. So
man,
it's
listen, man.
so it's
It's
just more
way more
I just think
fun.
it's
The
fear
truth
with
is
men.
this. The truth is this. The truth is this. And this is tough. It is more fun to be single. And it sounds crazy, but it is more fun. I'm telling you, you could do. Imagine being able, like, yo, I was single for 3 years in Miami before I found my shorty that I'm with for now 3 years. When I was saying, I'm not saying that like being with somebody is loving you. Like if you want that, you could. That is
it's more
beautiful.
fun. Stick to your
But
original
it is
point.
more. No. I'm saying it is though. Because you're able to do what you
And you
want.
should be alone
If
now.
Whenever you
Nah,
want to
that's
do it.
no, but like life ain't about having like when you get in a relationship, you ain't there to just have fun. You there to build something.
let him
That's
talk.
the difference. So once somebody start to want to do that, that's what they lean to. But you cannot ignore the fact that being single, unless you were just sitting in the house doing nothing, I guess. But if you was out there in the world being single, you could do whatever you want.
You do
See,
whatever you want. I agree with
this is
that.
what you don't understand, right? And this is very important. It's fun to be a young woman. Young man, not so much
Not so
fun.
much.
You're
Yeah.
bugging.
You're
Young dudes are
bugging there,
getting to the
man.
bag. Young dudes are getting to the bag off digital marketing, off e-commerce. You bugging up, bruh.
Hold on, just listen. Listen. Trust me, young people ain't getting that money like that. But that's
Yo, I was getting to the money. Nah, hold up. But yo, when I was 21, I made $60,000 online with this company called Motor Club of America, bro. Selling a membership, getting to the money. So at 21, I was doing it when I first saw this internet shit booming. Now it's even more ridiculous. Now you got TikTok, you could just pay for ads everywhere. You're bugging if you think these young boys ain't getting to the money. Yo, now you know what these Miami young dudes do? They pull up in ski masks with the Lambos and all the Ferraris and shit. Now they pulling up in ski masks. They young as hell, skinny as fuck, pulling up in these Ferraris and shit. They don't even want you to see their face no more.
Lee.
Grip on them is right there. What you gonna do? Bro, you young boys getting it.
I do agree. They getting if they getting that. Yeah.
If what you're saying is that accurate, right? And I'm not talking about just the money aspect. I'm talking about respect as a young person. Nobody respect no young people. Listen, it's important for you to understand this. This is very important, right? Young women are hearing, hey, we can be flew out. We can get on yachts, right? Young men are hearing, you better buy you a yacht. Do you understand there's a difference in marketing?
No, but this is what I'm saying. This is what I was talking to SB Live about is that men like that shit though. That is a part of the hunt. Get to the bag, not buy the yacht, own the yacht for the week because I'm getting 20, 50 grand a month. Because that's what these young boys be getting. And then I bring the vibe. I bring the girls. That's what men love to do. Men don't want to get flew out and fucking be sitting there twerking and shit. Like, no, we want to be the dude that dropped the bag on the yacht and we bought the shorties there. So what you talking about?
Listen. You may know something I don't know, but let me tell you a secret. The large majority of yachts that I've seen people have are older people having access to yachts.
Not out here.
You think out here getting yachts? But
I don't know.
Nah, but
How much it cost to
not
run a game? I
owning
don't even
them.
know. I'm
You
gonna look that
saying
up.
owning them? I'm not talking about owning
everybody
them
on the
though.
panel.
hold on,
What's
y'all.
up,
Hold on.
Sherelle?
Guys, hold on. SB was trying to speak,
Lee,
y'all.
He said renting for a week. I don't understand why people don't understand when you get older is when you have more money. It's kind of funny to hear you all talk about this. And guess what? The woman that's going for your bag wants your bag, not you. So that's what you're attracting. You want women who have character to marry. We're talking about, because I think the question was going to being married.
Yeah,
But
and I'm not even arguing about Lee talking young people can make money. I'm saying young men, regardless of what he thinks, don't think they're valuable in this world. They don't. This is why you will see a bunch of young guys looking for people to give guidance to them, looking for them to let them know, hey, you are important as a man. Like, don't just because you see the world giving all these things to women and ain't got to work hard for it, like you still valuable. Don't worry, they need this type of motivation. They need this type of support because young women are not actually having issues at a young age. Their issues start to creep up, like they say, oh, midlife crisis. Most men don't ever speak about midlife crisis. It's not because they don't have it. It's because they're not impacted the same. Because if they go on and keep pushing through, they can change the trajectory of their life in getting older. It doesn't necessarily work the same way for women because women get a little bit more upset at life because they start seeing, oh man, this door closing down. These options are dwindling because I can't really be with a young guy because he ain't mature enough for me. Now, these older guys are already off the market for the most part, and I can't get them. They already stolen by a woman. So they have a very difficult market. So men have a chance to recreate as we get older, and that's what we've been hearing. They like, oh, hope is for us. It ain't over yet. We got 70, 80 years of this life. And what women are hearing about is live your life, figure out what you need, what you like, and this and that. So I'm telling you, a 21-year-old woman enjoys life much more than a 21-year-old man on average. It ain't just money, it's how the world views you. And that matters because a lot of these young men don't feel valuable. The reason why the majority of people following all these people like, why you got so many subscribers? Because they don't feel valuable. We're showing them, hey, we can show you how to increase your value. We can show you how to feel value. We can show you what to do because men need to do stuff. And that's the difference. Yeah. So that's why there's a big market for men. That's why you're like, why are so many men online, this, and that? A lot of young guys are looking for the understanding of where they fit in life. Do you know how lost a 21-year-old man is while y'all up here talking about, look, you got to be a man, you got to lead, like you got to have a plan for women. Okay, so if a woman want to sleep with me, I ain't gonna have no plans at 21. So do I get to sleep with her or I don't? And young women are told, look, enjoy your life, figure out what you want. And they can't mess with an old man, that's creepy. But if I do mess with an old man, mind your business. So they get all the options while young men are limited. You gotta see this in this world. Like I know, like when you want.
I mean, I see what you're talking about. I see if you making that point about young dudes, like, it's some out there that's not getting, whatever. Then the older dudes, they got more status and more money. But all I'm trying to make the point is that in certain situations, the reason why a lot of people not together and a lot of marriages are not happening because people are finding, especially women, like you said, women are out at 21. She able to have this life and be on the yacht for free and all this. She understands that being single is more fun.
Lee,
that was my argument.
No, it's not even being single is more fun because women want relationships. Let me tell you what young people covet.
They can have multiple relationships now.
No. But listen, let me tell you what young people covet, and I've been championing this for a long time. They want freedom. They don't want to feel restricted. They want to be able to, if you don't want to be with me no more, all right, I'm out. You go your way, I go my way. Let me get my bag, you get your bag. I don't want nobody else getting involved. I'm free to go, you free to go. They want freedom. They don't want restriction because
that makes sense.
Marriage as bondage.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, it's in a negative because some people looked at like, yo, I'm glad I'm stuck with this person for life as opposed to somebody else. It's the perspective. Young people value movement and freedom. Pay attention to their actions. I don't want to go back into the workplace. If I can't work from home, I won't work. Businesses shutting down. We can't hire nobody. Like you have to. Economy helps you view the people in society, right? They play a direct correlation to how people are operating. So when you see young people are doing, they trying to fly, they faking some trips, but a lot of them do be on trips because it's cheaper to fly now. Like we made flying commercially available to almost everybody. Almost anybody can get on a flight.
And it
So
wasn't
you have to
before.
look at all these things that's happening and go, it's about freedom for people. Like even for me, right? I'm pretty sound mind, but in my mind, I'm thinking, look, if you want to leave, you leave whenever the hell you want. But I ain't trying to negotiate either that you get to leave. If you don't want to be here, you should be able to free to leave. But don't start coming over. Hey, let me negotiate. I see you was sacrificing for a lot of these years. I see you got a little success going on over there. Let me just take a little on my way out. See, I believe this. If you get with a man and he affords you a certain lifestyle, and if you leave said man, that lifestyle stays with that man. And that's the part people are struggling with. I believe if you want that lifestyle, you must be with that man. He's the one that provided the lifestyle. If you don't want that lifestyle no more, you don't get to keep it. You go your separate way. And that's the problem that people are having trouble with. It's like, no. If you leave the man, you don't get to keep the lifestyle. I don't like the fact that people are like, but that's why you see DeSantis down in Florida, like, the alimony. And it's because listen, they know that they have to find ways to incentivize men to get married.
To get married, yeah.
They see they tip the scales way too much, right? They put a lot of effort and time into building women's ability to be in the workforce. And they might have overdone it. Now, we don't know. We don't have enough data on it, but they put a lot of work into this. And it actually affected men more than we ever knew. Because men are like, I don't want to work no more. I ain't doing this job no more. It ain't beneficial no more. They're not finding value in doing what men used to do because women don't see value in what men used to do. And if men can't have families, they don't have drive into other things, then you're going to see how society starts to operate. So just pay attention and watch what's going on because I'm telling you, freedom and movement is what young people want. They don't want to be restricted. They don't want to be held down. They want freedom. And that's what you're seeing operate.
So, Aaron, I agree with you. And the other thing to add to that, if a woman does not contribute to said man, she shouldn't get anything either. I think that requires some consideration. Instead of just 10 years put in, now you get half. So, I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you.
See, I'm old school on that.
I don't understand why you should get any money. It makes
my
no
old
sense,
lady, there's
especially if
only
you're
one
having
way to
kids.
leave. Till death do us part.
Exactly.
I'm old school.
You should have
Like if
worked
you
that
go,
contract out in the beginning.
oh no, I don't. My relationship has no contract. I chose my lady. We together from the get go. When you leave, either in a board box or in ashes. Me myself.
Well, yeah. Young
It's
people ain't
25 years
Yeah,
later.
young people is not buying that.
they just not rocking with that no more.
Yeah, nah, you
Well,
sound
no.
to them you would sound mad controlling. So it's what that
You
is.
see, but that's the thing, young brothers. You have to control their females. Women are
No, you don't,
emotional.
bro. You can't even call them female, bro. You bugging. That's what. See, that's the problem, bro. Yo,
Don't tell me
that
that. I can't call a
I
woman
mean, you
female.
can, but they gon' like, yo. At the end of the day, this mindset that you doing is just obsolete, man. You have to control the woman, the female, the lady, whatever the hell you want to call it. You cannot say that. They have a brain too, fam. Like they want to do, bro.
Do what without my permission?
No. This is important, right? This is important. And I talk about this all the time. Even though what Lee is saying, he's not constructing it properly, I'm assist my brother. Let me help you out. See, women have a thought on how they want their life to be. And it isn't my husband's vision. It's my vision and his vision need to align. It's no longer, I'm going to get on whatever my husband needs, whatever his vision is, that's what we own. What it is I have a vision for how I want to live my life and how I want to do. And if you can fit into my life, then we can figure some things out. But women are individuals now. Regardless of how we see it, they see the world that way. So if I'm 21, 22, 23, 24 as a woman, going to school, working every day, ain't no man around, I'm crafting my life. I'm not waiting for a man to come around and tell me this is what I want to do in 5 years. This is what I want to do in 10 years. I'm creating my own life. So when a man come in, I'm like, yo, I'm 8 years in this in my process, and you want me to just come in and do what you want to do. I'm cool. Unless you're trying to crazy bag, unless I'm gonna get bags and all these type of things, they don't want to deal. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm saying it's different than what used to be because a woman would wait until a husband found her. When you gonna move? Like, daddy, I saw this nice guy. You gotta meet Pops. Hey, you want my daughter? Let's talk about this. That is not the option no more. It's so different when you study this stuff. And that's what's happening. We raise individual thinkers, not necessarily free thinkers, because there's a difference, but they individually plan their own lives and think that you can just bring somebody in and mold your life
it together and make it happen.
It's not like a blended family of stepkids, and I got stepkids, and we bringing them together. It's changing what I thought my life could be and want to be like to do what you want to do, and you can't guarantee me it's going to work. See, it's the guarantees that are struggling right now. Can you guarantee me this going to work? Because what I got going on right now, I'm paying, like the girl said it earlier, I'm paying my own bills. I'm paying 100% of what I'm doing. So if you can't do you don't deserve my energy. That's
So
the
you,
mind.
you think that man?
But then why would you choose? Hold on, let me ask
the
a question.
The fan, it's a man's fault.
Why would you choose a female like that though?
Because this was going to happen. This was going to happen, right? Well, what is happening is that women are now able to choose the exact guy that they want. It's not based off of how much money you make. Like the actual ones that you want, like the ones that are articulate and smart, and they're going to want their own life and have a goal. Because you as a dad, you're not going to. That's what you're going to do as a dad. We all going to do that in some way, instill some type of independence in our daughter, right? So boom, right? That's how it's all going to happen. So now those women now. The ones that we actually are like, damn, this would be a perfect wife. Those ones are saying, yo, I got my own life. You're going to have to come in on this. Now, I'm down to go 50-50, whatever you want to do. And sometimes men get uncomfortable with that. Sometimes men want to, like Gary, like, yo, I want to have the control. So I want to pay 80-20. So I can be able to tell you, that, sit here and do this. Or 100%. And she gonna be like, nah, yo, I want to pay because by me paying, I am able to have a say. And women know that game now. They've lived it for centuries.
But that's when the brothers say,
no, it's not a difficult woman because the opposite of that. Wait, okay. No, it's not a difficult. Not in my eyes. Because at the end of the day, the opposite of that woman is a woman that wants you to pay for everything, and then she's providing absolutely nothing to you. No, absolutely nothing but box. But boxing a baby.
Maybe I'm a little different. Like I need a woman to perform 3 things for me. I call it the 3 C's. She's got to cook, clean, and coitus.
See what I'm saying? This dude old as hell. Nah, I gotta cut him off. You old as hell, bro. I got a $500 machine in my house right now that mops and sweeps my floor. I got a dishwasher. I got a washer and dryer. Right? I also have a nigga, I don't have to make food. It's called this shit called deep kitchen where they have little meals prepped for you. So all the things you just said is like, bro, you obsolete. Your mindset is all obsolete.
No, hold on. You're missing what I'm saying.
You're so old school with it. You don't know how to cook and clean yet? You don't know how to cook and clean yet?
Guys, stop. One moment. Leave. Now, what company you talk about make these meals? Because I need to do research on it. What's the name of the company?
It's called Deep Kitchen. They make the firest curry dishes. Oh man, it's so good. You just cook 3 minutes, you're good to go. And then I make my rice and beans and all my vegetables and shit. But come on, cook and clean. That's what you need a woman for.
That's impossible.
Hold on there. Let me get this clear to you. When I was single, I did all of that stuff there. As I got a woman, this is what I need from you. I don't need you to do nothing else for me. Make sure I can eat anytime I want. My house is always clean, and there's never a word named no to me. That's all I need. Everything else I can supply. But
I respect that for you.
I never got into a serious relationship, and I don't suggest this for any man, until you're in your 30s. Live your life. Enjoy life. At 21, I was running up and down in Europe.
Okay, and look, while you was doing that, you was making a bunch of thoughts, and now men are like, I don't want that girl because she got too many bodies. But it's dudes like you,
like, my problem, is it?
Yo, run the number.
I don't care what the next man got to go through. I only worry about one dickhead, mines. What the next man's got to go through, that's not my problem.
Listen to him. That's a society killer.
No, I'm just a real man. That's how men live.
Like,
I don't think about it.
Okay, I understand back in the 40s. I
No, this is
understand back
the
in the
40s.
40s that
This
you
is the
was able to pull that
80s,
off.
the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. I didn't get together with my girl until 98. I was 33 years old.
He
I
was
lived life.
destroying all
I
your
enjoyed
future
life.
lives.
And
Yeah,
first
women
of
do
all,
enjoy life too.
back in the day, men only worry about one dick and one wallet. I don't care
What?
what the next man's dick does. It's not my problem. If a guy gets a girl after me, that's his problem.
Nah, a bunch of them got it before you. You cool with
But
that?
that's true. But I don't worry about who got it or who didn't get it because I only watch my dick.
I'm just saying
I
that's
don't
the
watch the
argument
next
that
man's dick.
people make, you know. And
Were
I
you
agree with
actually
you.
though?
Like,
Were you
but when I
actually
got together, like my old lady's 10 years younger than me because when I was 33, my girl was 23. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I think all young men enjoy life, experience life. Don't be getting in no relationship at 25. At 25, the only thing should be on your mind is
You giving
sex
that
and
same
money.
advice to your daughter? You giving that same advice to your daughter?
Oh no, see, I'm a different kind of cat. I didn't want to have
See,
children.
double standards.
No, I don't got no double standard. I don't have any
He
children.
telling
You
So
was out
I'm
there
not
laying
gonna
them and
give
slaying
he's
them.
saying he
right.
himself is running.
disagree with him?
No. Wait a minute, Gary. You saying you yourself is running through holes, right?
Yes, that's
Right.
what men
So
do.
now, right. But for your daughter, you teaching her to be
I don't have no
independent.
daughter. I don't worry about anybody else's daughter because every woman I fuck was somebody's daughter. So I don't worry about stuff like
So
that.
you'd wreck somebody else's daughter, but you wouldn't wreck your own.
And this is
I
why
don't
women
have
are
one.
choosing to be single. Thank you, Gary.
I don't
This
have
is why
one.
women are
And
choosing to be
and,
single.
and I don't even
Because
understand the
guys
man's
are being
mentality of
told.
thinking like that.
Stop. We understand that men are hypocrites when it comes to their mothers and daughters. So let's not pigeonhole each other in the conversation about mothers and daughters. We get the line. So let me holler at Jess Me in her super chat. She says, people begging PS5ers to operate in Excel and playing Atari. Find an Atari player. Don't waste your time making a person that is modern, traditional.
She's right.
That's fair to say. People want what they want, though. And that's one thing we can't get away from. People are going to want what they want. Deborah says, Aaron, why are you laughing at me? What did I do now? What did I do last time? Because Deborah, she was getting me in trouble last show. But ultimately, what I think you guys have to understand is we're dealing with a bunch of individuals. And younger people want something different.
Right.
Whether they can get it or not is what they're getting scrutinized for right now. Right? Older people are saying, you young folks got some unrealistic views. Yo, how that's gonna work? How y'all doing right now? And while they watching y'all struggle going through this process, because no matter what happens, y'all can quote me on this. These young people not going back to the older ways. They not.
Of course not. We didn't go to the older ways. Like us from the 60s and the 70s, we didn't flex like how they did in the 50s and the 40s. They thought we were crazy. Like I'm looking at today's people.
Right. So
like,
you're modern too.
Modern.
This man said the 60s.
So the problem is, right?
Hey, Lee, you're in your 30s, aren't you, boy? Lee.
Yeah, I'm in my 30s.
Why are you calling
I
that
know.
man a boy?
Because you remind me of me at about 30.
So I think that what we're finding out, and this is just the truth, is that younger people want something different. What that is, how that is yet to be determined, but they're not going back on it. They're not switching up.
Yeah.
And listen, I know it sounds crazy, but these women got to come with some money, right? And I know y'all like, man, that ain't no real man stuff. These younger people want women to have something invested in there. It is what it is. And here's the thing. I would agree with y'all that in general, right? And this is how my mind works, that a woman should not necessarily have to invest money back in the day if she had other values and other things in society existed, as far as shaming, as far as a culture of pushing women in a certain direction to find value in certain things. That environment does not exist. What women find value is, shout out to OG Kevin Samuels, women respect resources. So get some resources. So that's what you got to understand. So if a woman respect resources, when I make her put her money up and she got to invest in me, bring that bag over here. Yeah, we invested in that. She going to be mad as hell. She ain't trying to leave you. She put 10, 20 bands in you. The problem with men is we getting tricked thinking we doing manly things dealing with different type of women. Make her put that 20, 30, 40, 50 bands in you and see if she just wants
Aaron.
after
For
she
real.
got to invest in you the way she wants you. her.
I'm curious,
Yeah, men,
Exactly,
men got
son.
to change. I
Exactly,
mean,
bro.
that old
do
school
y'all
way
think
of
it's an
letting
age
them
thing?
go, letting them by, I want her to sit at home and take care of the kids is gone. It's gone. You got to
Do y'all
make them
think
put
it's an
some
age
work in.
thing? Just real quick, do y'all think it's an age thing in regards to like sometimes as we get older, we tend to forget some of the things we went through in the past into some dynamics. So in saying that, do you think anything really changed? Like, are we just at a different stage in our lives that we're starting to analyze things differently to the
No
stage where
communication. It's
Yeah, it's
communication. People got
communication.
options. People got options. People understand that they can now go on in life and they can be still happy without somebody. You feel me?
Right.
So it,
right?
it is what it is. Like,
But
and
what
then
I'm saying,
what Aaron's saying is cat, man. And then like, yo, if you dealing with a homosexual, just say it. If you dealing with a shorty that just stay at your house and you just using her for box, that's cool. But that ain't the wave no more. Like I don't look at that as like a value, like oh that's the dude right there. Now it is no, it is a flex. I'm like, all right, that's a little flex, but don't throw that shit in somebody's face and be like, or you let her pay 50-50. Oh, you this, that, and the third. Let's just not call each other names at all. That's all I'm saying. Let me not call you a name and you not have a name to call me, and we just cool. I like what you're doing over there. Hey, I like what you're doing over there. That's what needs to happen. Instead, it's like, yo, nah, bro, you make her pay 50, you broke. I'm not broke, but yo, that 20,000 helped me out. That shit allowed us to go ahead and get 40,000 and 60,000 and 100,000. So it is what it is, man. Whatever life you choose to live, that's on you. But the name calling shit is where we get kind of confused.
okay, that's fair. That's fair. But did you get
Yeah,
the point I was
we
trying to make?
guys, man, we name call all day, every day.
And yeah, that's
We
very
gonna do
weird
it
to me in
anyway. You
today's
know what I'm saying?
society. You
It's just the
guys
way
I
we
take
guess I
do
kind
words.
of dumbed it down. You're right.
Hold
I don't
on.
really care about the name calling shit.
Let me ask the young brothers, because all of y'all are younger than me. Why do y'all take words so serious than what somebody does?
it. Take words seriously.
No,
I
no.
No,
don't.
I
When y'all
mean,
say that,
see, I dumbed
go
down my
ahead.
whole
Young ones,
conversation. I
real,
don't mean
real
like the
young ones.
name call it. I mean like actually like people. These are actions that people take. You feel me? People give lower value to guys, and just like Aaron said, they gonna look at the dude and be like, or feel like a way about that whole relationship based on because they going 50-50. You know, like I take away apart from like I take away what I just said, the word I said, but yeah, like I think both are dope. If you able to take care of a woman and she on your schedule or whatever y'all be calling it, and that's working, then that's dope. But if you a dude that's like, yo, we working together, it's different type of ways of life or how people was raised. But at the end of the day, if y'all both coming up and trying to be successful and y'all ain't on no murder shit, no gang shit, no trying to be out here trying to cause problems, then yo, do your thing.
So one sec, because I have to address this, because this is somebody that I'm really cool with, is my girl Cassandra. She said, I ain't paying 50-50. That's a roommate. Well, here's the thing, right? Do you have a vested interest in your roommate's success? Do you have a vested interest in your roommate's outcomes in life? You're taking
Aaron.
one component, right, and making that the totality of a relationship. If you don't want a person to deal with you in a bad way, and just because they got money, they can talk how they want to talk and be how they want to be just because of money, then you can't make decisions solely based upon money. Like you can't have this backwards type of thinking. It's not a
Aaron,
roommate.
she's right.
I want to know,
Okay, all right,
Cassandra.
hold on. Let me have this conversation with JB. Explain to me how paying 50-50 makes you a roommate.
A roommate, God.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because
Let him
this
finish, bro.
50-50 stuff it's partnership talk. Okay, this is that new age partnership talk, bro. I
Yes.
think again, I think like what Lee was describing, right? Those are dumb females. A smart woman understands that the winning position is to be a wife. She understands that. So these modern females who don't understand that, that's cool. They're entitled to that, but they stupid. Like it's not rocket science. They stupid, right? And then the men who are now overcompensating for the women being stupid, right? You're just as stupid.
So let me ask you this, right? Let's say you live with roommates, right? And one of your roommates pays more than you pay in an apartment complex, or in the home that you're in, right? They got like, let's just say they're paying $1,200 and you're paying, let's just say $900. What difference does that have in a relationship?
I think Cassandra's point is less about like you're looking at literally like a roommate.
And
I think
that's
her wait, Aaron. I think her
sorry,
point. I think her point is more so that, you know, this is it's not, again, it's just the partnership shit. It's like, you know, we're all equal and everything is just like, it's just
But
that's
see,
just not reality, bro.
JB, you're right. But here's the problem. Then you have to admit that you less than. And here's the problem. They not willing to do that.
It's
They
not,
want to
but Aaron, I don't think it's that they're less than. I don't think that.
But you can't have it all different type of
No,
ways.
Aaron, let me tell you what it is. It's not that they're less than, right? Like, I don't think my wife is less than me. I think she compliments me. So I think her role is different than mine. We're different. She's not less than me. She's different.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not arguing against you. What I'm saying is if they're using that terminology, right? 50-50 mean we equal So if we just stand on that point and we subtract the 50-50, then I'm greater than. That's just how numbers work. If we're going to fixate on the money aspect and who's paying what, when you shouldn't do that, the goal is just to get the bills paid, no matter how they get paid. But I know we fighting that in society, and that's the battle we got to deal with. If that's the case, if we're going to argue that I'm paying 50% for this, you paying 50% for that, then if I pay more, I pay the greater sum, I am greater. That's just based upon numbers. But what you're going to do is say, well, that's just part of that role and other areas. And that's why I say stop limiting the conversation to just 50-50. If there's more components to a relationship and then just the money aspect. That's
Aaron,
what I'm
Aaron, the point is this, right? I first of all, I understand what you're saying, right? You're making a valid point. But here's what it is that the way that we're trying to equate each other's roles, right? It's just not the same. Like, a lot of what women, and I know you already know a lot of this, but a lot of the value that a woman provides, a lot of it is actually intangible, right?
I know.
A lot of it is intangible. So like, but some of that value, I would say, is even priceless sometimes, right? It's not like, it's something I can't really put a price on.
I 100% agree.
So like, to what Lee's talking about, for example, he's like, yo, I got this, you know, I got a dryer and a washer and all that. Listen, that's good and all, right? But there's little things that you could say it might sound small to you, but when you have it regularly in your life, you realize, damn, like, this actually adds value to my life, right? Like, I could eat out every day if I wanted to, okay? But the fact that I know this food right here was made by my wife, right? And she knows every little aspect of what I like to eat, what I don't like to eat, my proportional, like the portion of the amount of food I like to eat at what time, right? She has my coffee ready at a certain time, like all of that. Like, to me, I could do all that by myself, right? I could pay somebody to do it. But the fact that my wife is doing it, that's priceless to me.
So, but
right, that's actually priceless.
This is the problem that I'm having, right? Because mine.
Can I respond to that?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so look, there's just different version of men, and that's why I said the name calling stuff is just pointless, because I could just say that men like that need a woman to make their coffee and cook for them and clean for them are inferior to me, right? I can easily just say that all men like that in a one-on-one room with me and him, he is completely inferior, because I can do all those things that he can't do. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
Wait.
Hold up. I don't want to name call.
Listen, I'm not saying a man can't do that. The point is that, listen, my wife frees up so much of my time. I get to focus on, like, I don't have to worry about a bunch of other shit.
Frees up all my.
You're looking at it.
Wait, I was talking. The coffee machine frees up all my time. It takes me 5-10 seconds to make coffee. Now, like, literally,
you're looking at this at such an elementary level.
No, bro. But I'm just trying to understand. Like, no, because look, you just said that women.
If that's your mindset, you never gonna understand, because you're equating it. I understand the way you're looking at it. I'm just saying you never gonna understand, right? Because you're looking at such an elementary level, right? The fact that, again, listen. I wake every minute saved, okay, is valuable, right? I wake up and my coffee already ready exactly the way I like it, right? That's valuable to me. To you, you're like, yeah, I got the listen, bro, listen. I'm glad, bro, listen. I'm glad you got fam, listen. I'm glad you got your coffee machine, right? I got mine too. Okay, I'm glad you got it. So, like I said, I'm not telling you got to be like me. I'm just telling you, like, the value you're assigning to it, you're assigning that value to it because you don't understand what it's actually like to be in that position. That's why you're assigning that value, right? I'm telling you right now that every morning my coffee is ready exactly the way I like it, right? My breakfast is ready exactly the way I like it. Like, I'm telling you, that to me is valuable. I don't need to do shit, but focus on the things that matter to me, the things that matter to my family. So I can take care of my family.
JB, me and you agree with that. I understand the value that women bring, and no coffee machine can do that. I understand the point, right? I don't like to argue that little small thing. The part that I want to discuss with you is you believe that women are complementary, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
So
the right female.
Fair enough. So if I need you to pay half these bills to compliment me, then that's what it is. Think about it.
But Aaron, here's why I get what you're saying.
Wait.
All right, go ahead.
Compliment the man that you're dealing with. Now, if JB don't need compliment in that area, acceptable. But if you dealing with a man that needs you to compliment him in that area,
Let me just say one thing.
I don't like it being one Swiss Army knife. I think it's inaccurate. Go ahead.
Let me just say one thing. I'd rather have the machine make my coffee and the robot clean my house. I would rather have that happen and have a shorty next to me that could put $50,000 down when that major move come, than have a shorty that's just there to cook, clean, and she ain't got no bread. All she got is what I give her. So again, it's just mentality. It's just mentalities. I'm cool with y'all mentality, but it just seems like y'all do the name calling other than us. Because I don't care. I gave y'all the love, and we still get the people that want to live their life the way they want to do it. They the ones that get called names.
So do you believe that?
Hey, I want to know, Cassandra, I want to know how, if she's not going to go 50-50, I want to know how much she's going to go in on that.
So
she got to pay 100. So look, no matter what a woman say.
No, I want to know from her how much she's willing
I
to put in.
understand that, but I'm giving you the short answer. If she don't have a man, she pay 100. So this is the problem that women don't understand. If you look at a man as a value non-added, right? A man coming into your life, if you look at that as a negative, if he had nothing, no money at all, if you just view him as a negative, you don't understand the value of men. So just as we understand that women have some intangible things, so do men. You can't pay for a man's brain. You can't pay for the way a man views and sees the world. You can't buy that. So the fact that we only want to value the intangible things that women do and devalue the things that men actually do because they have the ability to do tangible things as well is where this world is severely.
Aaron, the thing is that Aaron, this is what you call a double standard. Like
I don't have a problem with the double standard. It's not required any JB. I trust me. You know we don't miss a line. I'm speaking for just more than just how me and you may see things. The standard is not required anymore. It's not required anymore.
It's different.
Like we've changed security to putting up more buildings, putting more people on the streets, raising awareness, et cetera, et cetera. We've shifted and evolved, but some things we want to remain static. And I think that's where we're losing because it's not working. It may work for a small group of people, but we have always worked towards getting the majority of people to get value out of the world, never just a small minority. Even though in the monetary view, the small minority run things, we always have tried to strive and work for the majority of getting things out of things. So I think that's where we're missing.
I just want to say this real quick. I'm about to leave, but nonetheless, I just want to say this. Within the conversation y'all having, I think, JB, you don't have to attack the people that aren't doing it the way that we see as practical.
He's not attacking. That's just how he speaks.
No, I know JB's tone. I'm just saying from my perspective, right?
I hear you. I'm just telling you.
Like from my perspective, because Lee actually mentioned the insult aspect of things, right? Calling people stupid and all that.
Wait, hold up. No, what? I actually do believe the most modern women today are stupid. Like that's listen. You can feel it. Listen. You can feel any type of way you want about that.
But that's not the part I was getting at.
If you look at the way they move, right? They make stupid decisions, right? They give their body. Listen, they give their body to ain't shit niggas, right? And then cry about it. They do a lot of stupid shit. They do a lot of stupid shit.
That's not the part I was getting at. I'm getting the marriage aspect of things, right? The benefits that you have in a woman, that's a cultural norm that you've been exposed to, right? If someone isn't exposed to that aspect of things, like for me, I don't come from a perfect family dynamic, but nonetheless, I do appreciate the bonding of two people, right, and building into something bigger. But there's also the part of me that has that, I actually don't want my woman doing all the labor work in the house. I'd rather her doing other things and use my resources to cover that aspect of things, right? But that's just my aspect of how I want to do things. I don't like the labor aspect. I don't see it as something that should be prized. But nonetheless, if that's something you see as like, wow, that's a quality woman, I could absolutely agree with that, because anyone that has a good work ethic is always going to be a great person. And that's one of the things it's a sign of a good work ethic in that aspect of things. The only thing I'm saying is it doesn't have to be either or. You could just state your part, and for the people that do agree, like
Bro,
I
stop
agree with
trying to
it.
control how I speak, bro. Just say
I'm
your
not
part. Don't talk.
controlling how you
Listen,
speak. I'm
I
just
said,
giving
bro,
you a
listen,
perspective. You're
fam,
being
listen. I said,
impulsive.
listen. I said what
You're
I
being
said, bro.
impulsive.
I
Just
said what
you
I
can take
said.
it or not.
All right, can I solve this
I said
problem
what I
for you
said,
young
bro.
people? First
I
of
said what
all,
I said.
we all like chocolate cake. Some of us like icing, some don't. Lee's not wrong how he's saying he's doing things because it's a different time. If me and my woman want to make money together and that's our relationship, that's cool. Jonathan, you like the old fashioned way. That's cool too. Me now, people look at me and say I'm crazy. I've been with my old lady for 25 years. I don't believe in marriage, but I
That's
believe in
me.
till
Have a
death
good
do
one.
us part.
Aaron.
So here's my perspective on this. I get what you're saying, Lee, but truth be told, I just think there's just a lot of lazy ass people that don't want to put in the work. Listen, there's nothing better than having a woman hold down the home. And on top of that, do you believe that women just sitting at home, just cooking and cleaning, not doing nothing else? Most of these housewives are literally bringing in some money too, just staying at home. I'm just saying that there's women that work from home and they make money and then they still take care of the home also. But it's funny how everybody they don't want their woman to do what they normally do traditionally, but a lot of women still hold men to hold traditional duties, no matter what.
You're a trucker. You're a trucker. Check this out, bro. You want to know the reality? The
Speak
reality
it.
is that bro, most of these men want women like that. Okay. The reality is they understand that they cannot actually, especially in today's market. So I don't necessarily blame them, but they understand they cannot actually get a woman that's going to submit at that level. And so it's really copium. It's really copium. Like I have to find a way to cope. So now let me find all the different ways to say that, oh, she's just sitting at home, she's not doing anything, which is actually not true, but whatever,
Yeah.
right? They find every way to cope around that because they can't actually get a female that's going to actually submit at that level, right? Like listen, you got to just observe and see how people
So
move.
I got guys, calm down 1 sec. Shout out to Tam. She said she pay 100 done everything. Ain't no problem, big dog. So Tam, just clean off that couch for me.
I
Good
don't know
fancy
why
it on
y'all make
right on
money
up.
to be
You
like
know
the
what I'm
number.
saying? Give me that
Y'all,
golden pillow on the couch. Hey, yeah, I'm couch gang. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
that money
Tam.
don't mean shit if you a selfish person. Yo.
So,
That
but see,
like y'all gotta stop equating money that's just the
the
all time
problem
thing. It's not the all
is
time
though,
thing.
the problem with JB's perspective is he's wrong.
What am I wrong about, Aaron?
I was gonna say it. You know me, I don't just say nothing to say nothing. That
All right.
there are men that have no money that can get a woman to submit to everything and give him all her money. It actually happens a lot of the time. It's not
So then it's
uncommon.
not
No, I
about
didn't
the
mention the
money,
money,
right?
Aaron.
It's
I didn't
about
mention
the
money.
individual, right?
I understand, but my point being is that there are men that can do it. There are men that can do it with
Again,
money
it's
or
not about the
without
money.
money.
It's about the
The
individual.
problem
Wait,
is
let Aaron finish. Let Aaron finish.
the problem is it's not a majority of men that can do it. And so you're right, men do make excuses. Oh, well, this, that. But I'm telling you, it's not a monetary excuse. They are deficient in other areas in which women would rather submit to. There are many things that women are
No,
willing to
Aaron, we
submit to.
agree on that. That's
Yeah,
why I said, like, you listen. I didn't mention money at all, right?
I know, but
I'm just saying. A lot of times when I listen to the arguments that are made, it's like, and again, a lot of the points that the men make, it's not invalid, right? So like, if a lot of women, if they don't want to submit, you're not gonna force anybody to submit. You're not gonna force a woman to move a certain way.
agreed.
But I'm just saying, if they're sitting there, like, once they realize, okay, this is the landscape I'm dealing with. Now they start making all these excuses. Like, even though they know deep inside they want that. Like, I want a woman
I
that's gonna
agree
take
with you
care of that.
100% there.
Yeah.
There's no
So
arguing there, but they can't get it, and we understand that. And I'm so yeah, we're in agreement. Yeah, I'm not.
so
I
yeah,
think I try to speak to a broader audience because me and you speak a lot, so it's not that we necessarily
yeah.
disagree.
What
But
else?
go ahead, go
What
ahead.
looking at because it was like I don't want her this that third, but I do want her to invest $50,000 and all this other stuff. It's like, dude, come on, man,
No, so
come on.
listen, you got to understand. I don't care what you say. A woman that walks up to you and say, I got 50 bands for you here, do what you want with it, to me is a hell of a thing. I'm not saying you need to depend on her money, but Lee said, hey, a woman that could pull up on me and say, I got 20, 30, 40 bands for you, here you go. He didn't say, you broke his brother, you need me. He didn't say that. He said, I would rather a woman that can put some bands down, and I would appreciate it. I can't argue with that, because I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't be mad if a woman could do that. If she could throw 100 bands in the pot, here you go, I got 100 for you. How you going to tell a man he not him when a woman is willing to give the thing that women in this current age, in majority, perceive as money being the overall thing, more so than being wild, mother?
Bro, that's bullshit. You know
what? Oh man, I can't even do it. Whatever.
No, I got to pick up for my little brother here now.
Again, most of that shit is bullshit, because if that's the case, then wouldn't they be happy to date a dude that's making the average income? No, they always say, what do they normally say? Well, he got to make more money than me, right? He always got to make a little bit more money than me, right?
But Lee's saying that his girl is putting in what he's putting in.
They're not investing that 50,000. They're not doing. They expecting you to do it. See, that's why I said it's funny how they can do what they want. These men continue to say, "Hey, I don't want my woman to work and all this. I don't want her to clean the house. I got a robot and all this other BS." But for some reason, that the men have to still retain traditional duties, no matter what. No matter what. Hands down. They're not doing 50-50.
Because men are men.
You got older women saying, if the men, if he can't pay 100% of the bills, that's your roommate. These are from older women to younger women. Hands down.
But they're free to say whatever they want, and you're free to not be with those kinds of women. Like, I don't understand that you all talk about women that you don't want. Like,
Gary, that's what I be saying, Gary. It's like it's ultimate. Listen, ultimately, you set the standards. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Wait. You know what?
Hold on. Wait. There's misrepresentation going on here. Lee said what he wanted, and y'all said that's crazy. So
listen,
I didn't say that. I think Lee's doing the right thing for him.
We already know how this is gonna play out. We know how this is gonna play out. And I think Lee is a cool dude. Don't get me wrong. I think he a dope individual. But we know how this is gonna play out.
No, we don't.
Y'all as men are talking about
we know
things
that y'all you know somebody's situation gonna play out.
Now I gotta say something. Now I gotta say something. Bro, listen, bro. Listen, I've had those women y'all talking about. I've had a bunch of Spanish, like I had Spanish women, I had black women, I had white women, I had Asian women. The Spanish women would get down and bro, they have had my slippers ready. They'd clean the house. They'd do all that shit, and they had issues with them. Right? I had the white women that would do that. They had issues with them. The black women that would do, they had issues with them. Y'all might like that. That's cool. Every man is not the same. I would rather have value coming into the house, because to me, that's not deemed as value. I could put my own slippers down. I could fucking make my own fucking coffee. I cook better than most of y'all shorties do. At the end of the day, and yo, they say that men cook better than women. It's already a statistical fact. I'll be cooking in the crib because I love to cook. It just is what it is. So again, if we're gonna have a conversation about, yo, this is dumb, this is stupid, we see where it's going in, I could easily take shots too, but I'm not gonna do that because it's actually way too easy to do it. Like I like to play it on hard when I'm on these panels, and to take shots right here in a specific moment, it would be way too easy. So I'm gonna leave it at that. That's the point I'm trying to make. I want a shorty like that. You want a shorty like that? That's cool with what you doing. Dap you up, yo, cool. I'm over here doing my thing because I had that, and that wasn't my flavor.
Yo, I'm not taking a shot at you.
And it was baddies, bro. And I had shorties spend money on me, and I value the money. I value. I understand what women want. I've been around women. I've been in circles you can never. I've been around a lot of women, right? And I'm trying to tell you, the main thing women value is their kids and that motherfucking money. So if she can part that money, if she can part ways with that motherfucker, bro, could you give me, bro? If she could part ways, this is what I've learned after being with way more women than you, is that women love their kids and that bag. If she could part, if she willing to give you her kid, she love you, my boy. Bam. If she willing to give up that money, she love you, my boy. Bam. It just is what it is. Now, y'all might think, and then there's the other women that will give you all those cooking, cleaning, all that stuff that y'all want. She love you too, fam. It's different women. It's not just one version of women or one version of men. Is the point. So to say, yo, we know where that's gonna go. Come on, son.
We do know
You
where that's
gotta
going.
do better.
It
You
ain't no
gotta
shot. It's
relax.
just
Got
for
to.
everybody in the chat. Hold on, everybody in the chat and everybody on here understand. They have literally seen this same scenario played the hell out. It ain't no disrespect. It's just what it is.
Well, hold on. What
It's just what
scenario
it
are
is.
you talking? Hold on there. What scenario are you talking about, Trucker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure. That's what I was about to ask. Go ahead, because I'm trying to figure that out too. What scenario?
Let me put it in a way. The scenario of where this oh well, she got to bring a bag and all this other stuff. Yo, that's cool and all, but that's not what women really give a fuck about. That's something that they just consistently say. Consistently. Truth be told, the best thing for a woman that they ultimately love is family. Family. They continue. Yes, they out here saying, "Oh well, I can get the bag and I don't need no man." All this other bullshit. When the reality is, it's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie. If that's the case, most of these females will not be on fucking medication or depression or any of this bullshit. And it has nothing to do. They can get all the money they want in the world, but the one thing that they having an issue with is getting the man that they want. And even when they get the man that they want, usually it's a bitch ass dude. It's not a fucking man.
See,
Bruh, you went on a diatribe and you did not even answer what we asked you.
Bro, I just think, hey, Chuck, I just think that's a pointless. I think that's a pointless route to take this, right? Ultimately, it goes back to what Gary was saying. What it goes down to is, if these are the women, right, that listen, the women do the same thing that the men are doing, right? It's copium on both sides, right? Because, like, for example, when you hear the women say, you know, I could be married if I wanted to, you know that's a fucking lie. She could be married to some dude that she doesn't want, because there's plenty of dudes willing to actually marry her, yeah. But the dude she wants is not willing to marry her. So we know there's copium on both sides, right? These women be lying, the men be lying. And ultimately, my thing is, I look at both sides and I'm just like, okay, y'all are coping instead of trying to figure out how do I get the results I actually want, right? And both sides then start overcompensating. So that's why women, they start prioritizing the bag, because they've been trying to get that out of a man, but they realize they can't lock down the man that they want. So now they say, okay, I'm gonna get it myself, right? And then now, because they're looking at how men operate, they start actually judging it the way men operate, in terms of, now I got a bag, so I'm more valuable.
So there's actual reason for that though. But shout out to my best friend. She says she basically know women who ball on these ninjas and still don't care about them. Where they at though? Hey, where they at though? I send them over here. But no, here's the problem.
All the time, man.
Here's the problem, JB, and this is not necessarily what you're saying. The problem exists is this: the one thing we can do is control and change ourselves. So if I can't necessarily depend on somebody else to go get money for me, at least I can control me and go get that. So it's actually within reason for women to actually prioritize that, because that's the one thing that they have guaranteed control over is themselves. Now, the one I will say this, right? And I've been meaning to bring this up, and I haven't found the proper clip for it, but I will find it. The one thing women have forgotten, and this is the one skill that they don't have, the ability to make men fall in love with them. Women have lost that ability. Women don't know the art of making a man fall in love with them. They have no idea of that art, that skill anymore. And so, because they just don't care as much anymore, because they're in an environment where they don't have to prioritize doing that for a man. But that art is a lost art, and that's why they can't get those men, because they don't have that skill anymore.
Well, nature has a way of bringing things back in full circle. And that's gonna damn show. That's for certain. That's exactly what's gonna happen. and when it do happen, it's really gonna be bad out here.
Well, I don't actually think that'll happen. I think we struggle with accepting the fact that if you listen to Jordan B. Peterson, right, he'll talk about how women being in the workforce is still relatively new. We're making judgments on a small amount of data, right? And the same thing is we're making judgments on these kids who are in a different environment on the decisions that they want to make. They don't want the same thing that used to work back then. They want something different, and we're judging them, critiquing them all the time, and we don't have enough data to see if what they're trying to accomplish actually can work. We do not actually know. So
we do. The problem is that what we trying to do in the black community, the shit ain't working, bro. How is it that every other race can do all these things that black people want, but we can't get it right for some damn reason?
So because that's actually not necessarily true. Let's not talk about violence right now, because that's the one stat and argument that I'm not going to debate about who promotes the most violence. But when we speak about people actually having children and families and things like that, I mean, most groups are either not doing it well in general, and we focus on the top like we do in everything. Most people are struggling with this, and you're starting to see it seep in every aspect. When I'm seeing Asian women dancing to Megan Thee Stallion, you know one thing black people don't do? Dance to Asian music.
Not Aaron, not necessarily. Like I think you do have a point in terms of the trends, right? The things are trending in the same direction for across the board. But in terms of just where it's at right now, I mean, it's still mostly
I agree with that. But like I said, we're making judgments on the old. Listen, once again, most of these people that don't take care of their kids is the older generation. Us now, if we look around the people that we know that run in our circles, everybody take care of their kids. It's not us. It's really the people before us that we get judged for. So if you really want to break it down, it ain't us. It's our parents or the parents above them that really mess things up, and we're getting the brunt of it because we are the most outspoken, because they wouldn't be on the internet doing this stuff. And so when you really break it down and realize we're still judging the same people on a small amount of data, and I'm telling you the trends, and you know me, I do the research because I know people gonna say it's only the black people. I got Asian people doing this. I got their podcasts. I got the arguments and complaints that they have the same thing that we have. The only difference is they make more money.
And they stay within family.
They do stay within families. When we speak directly to the Asian community, they stay within families. But let me be clear: it's not a communicative family. It is not a closely conversation raised children family. It's not. It's presence. There's a huge difference there. See, when black men are present, they are the best at being present. I'm not saying they are more present. I'm saying when they are the best at it. Other groups can't say that for. When I speak to them, so what's your relationship? My parents didn't really tell me about this, or they didn't really tell me about this. It was just work. It was just study. Do really good. It's a different dynamic. It's probably cultural, and they may not need it as much as another group, but there are differences there. And I'm telling you now, the culture that we create in this music is getting to these women's head and other groups too.
So you think this is just a Western thing?
100%. And the farther and farther you get away from traditional things and traditional people and traditional countries, their children, and JB knows, like I will tell you, I'm in San Francisco where the huge population of Asians it is, because we like to utilize them as one of the people to speak to, because white people ain't doing it like that. I'm telling you, it's seeping in their culture that their parents can't override because they can't. And I'm telling you, it's going to start trending that way even more. You're going to see single mothers and all these things exist in that culture too.
Well, hell, Ebony K just promoted that BS.
I'm just telling you, bro. I've never in my life seen so many TikToks, so much hip hop music infested in these people's minds, and we don't listen to none of that crap. But they doing all the stuff we doing, and we pushing off in their world. We don't take none of their culture, and that's the thing we suck at. If we could start stealing a little bit of good culture from these other people while they stealing our bad things and all things like that, it would be different outcomes. But I'm telling you now, pay attention to the younger generation, regardless of what you're saying. They're not having children either in other races.
But Aaron,
go ahead.
But Aaron, like, how black people gonna do that if black people don't even realize that this culture is garbage? You know what I'm saying? Like that, like I mean, you know how much shit you get for highlighting how bad this culture is?
Yes. Me?
Like,
you know I do.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, black people don't even see a problem with the culture. So why would they go and take and try to figure out how other people doing it if they don't even see an issue with theirs?
I think that black people do a disservice in general explaining what the culture is, and they get upset because they want to fight for something. They believe that their people have gone through such an experience that y'all not about to bully us. We are cool. We are important. Our culture is dope. No matter how y'all feel about it, y'all may can't see. I'm just telling you, y'all may can't see. This is the perspective. Y'all may can't see it, but I know what we go through. I know what we've accomplished. I know what we overcame. And y'all not about to make us invisible or hide or whatever. We pretty good. We pretty cool people. I'm telling you, this is the mindset. And just because y'all talk about the bad things, there are more good black people than bad. And y'all want to focus on the bad ones. That's the mindset.
Man,
man. I'm not trying to be right. I'm telling you what is.
It's like, how much longer are we gonna continue playing blind? This is just crazy. Like, I love my people, but Lord have mercy, even I had to come to a fucking conclusion that, yo, this shit is not good. It's not, our culture ain't going nowhere. It's like we're literally plummeting.
Who be cooking and cleaning all day, Jasmine? Nobody be doing that.
Y'all
now,
agree?
Gary Grant wants you to make your food on the table all day. If I come through, it better be food up in this house. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it look like some dust over there on that light. Clean that up. You know, Gary Grant, he move a little different then, you know. But
Listen,
it's not going down.
I don't care what nobody say. There is no better feeling to coming and seeing your wife holding down the house. I just can't. I can't.
Nobody is arguing with you against it. And people that are married or people that have a strong understanding of life and things totally get what you're saying. But when you think that you're dealing with the same type of people that they dealing with, it ain't the same, bro. It's not. And I know it's hard for us to grasp.
Not the same food. Because the women still get what they hold up. The women still get traditional men. The men don't. They don't get traditional women.
I think that you're more likely to get way more aspects of traditionalism in men, not in totality, but way more things that are deemed traditional in men than you are to get in women. I would agree with you on that.
Exactly, because I'm sitting here like, just like I just said, there's no better feeling of a woman holding it down. It's like, yo, I know women be feeling great. Yo, my man is doing this, that, and the third. He working on this, he working on that. He just did the oil. I ain't got to worry about none of this shit. You know, like, I know they gotta, like, yo, my man is dope. He handles his shit. He's on the whole nine, you know.
Yeah, no, but shout out to Lamar Black. He said, dang, I'm speechless. Aaron knocked it out of the park. I'm not in the catbird seat for nothing. There's a reason why I run the show. I do what I does now. Don't play with me, Lamar Black. I will have my mods time you out.
Lord,
what's going on, Cali Bev? Because I know you popped up because you heard something that was said, and it's gonna be an issue. Tell me what the problem is.
Oh, here you go with that devilish line.
Good evening, you guys.
Good evening.
I'm disturbed at how you guys are saying that Black culture is trash and then base that off of one aspect of the culture. Like,
see, that's just what I said. Isn't that what I just said?
The bad part of hip hop.
Isn't that what I just said though?
You think we basing it off of this one part?
I literally just said that. What you coming up here to talk about is what I just said people do.
Well,
JB,
I probably didn't hear it. I probably didn't hear what you said while I was logging on.
So we can make
hold on, JB. First acknowledge what I said and then go off on your little tirade.
Okay, okay, we acknowledge you.
Yeah,
let's
y'all act like
let's
cheating just
forward
do
to what
what I
Cali
just said people do. This is crazy. I'm
Cali
glad we got
Bev, you think it's just one? You thinking we basing it off of just one area? Is that what you're
That's
saying?
mostly what I hear talked about. Yeah. So my follow-up question would be, what do y'all consider to be Black culture?
So here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. We can make it's a generality, right?
What the? Hello?
I'm gonna make a generality and say that his internet bills ain't been paid. I'm gonna make a generality out there. He ain't paid the internet.
Eric, can you hear me? You hear me?
Yeah, we can. I
All
thought we
right,
was gonna roll for a second. Like, what?
No, my bad. I went on the roof. So listen, we can make generalities, right? And it's like, yes, there's good stuff, but there's good stuff in Black culture, but that's not what gets highlighted, right? That's not what gets highlighted. Like I just hate when we lie about shit. Like we don't gotta lie, right? No one's arguing that there's probably some good stuff in Black culture that you consider Black culture. But what gets glorified, the shit that most people think of when you say Black culture, it's garbage. It's trash. Okay, it's absolute garbage. And when you actually compare that to what gets elevated in other cultures, you see the difference. Right. So again, let's not play the not all game, right? Because we always know by default it's not all. We always know that. But we're talking about in general, what do people consider Black culture? And it's trash. It's usually garbage. It's usually the gangster hip hop, all the shit that niggas talk about when they say Black, right? When people tell you, think about the number one attack that you get as a Black person, right? When they try to pull your Black card is when you don't like the same shit niggas like. That's a fact, right? When you don't talk the way niggas expect you to talk. So that's the number one shit you get. And it's usually the opposite. Like they want you to talk a certain way. They want you to listen to certain types of music. And if you say, yo, I don't listen to this, but I listen to country music, or I listen to that, damn, you weird. So in general, Black culture is garbage. The shit we uplift is garbage. The shit niggas aspire to is trash. Like I remember being in high school and niggas getting caught up, right? Getting caught up, and they can't wait to tell everybody they got locked up. They can't wait. Like it's like a stripe. It's like a stripe. Like I remember that. They cannot wait to tell everybody, man, I got booked, bro. I got booked, bro. Nah, nigga, you stupid. You dumb. But that's what Black culture glorifies. So we gotta stop lying.
I hate to say that the young man is right.
People are glorifying that shit.
Well, the people that they're showing on all the major communication, that's what they're glorifying.
Hold on. Cali Bev, you trying to tell me in high school you never heard a dude or a dude sitting there getting his flowers for going to juvie and shit like that. You never seen that.
No, none of my classmates went to juvie. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Okay, so what JB just said actually do happen. I remember all of that. I remember what happened to Marquis? Oh, Marquis, he locked up. He robbed some old ass woman. Da, 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 da. 2 years later, you see him. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? This got man. It's all type of stuff. I mean, we don't like, and I don't even like saying this, but I'm just gonna say it. We don't value what we was really known for. Family. We don't value it at all. Zero.
I think there is a value
So
for
what?
family. I think it's not family being constructed the way it used to be no longer exists.
No, no. Family is mother, father, kid. There's no other. That's family. It has no
So
value.
when we value family, we value the community aspect of family. Grandma, grandpa, cousin, uncle, all of
And
that
we don't
encompassing.
value
My point is the reason we don't value as much is because we now have to operate in a world where we don't have access to them the way we used to. When I used to go down the street, my uncle lived down the street. My grandma lived a couple blocks down. Like
that's no excuse.
So Aaron, I actually think it's different. I don't think it's family. I don't think it's family. I think it's that Black folks do not value excellence, right? Black folks do not value excellence. So Here's a simple example, right? Ben Carson. Okay, you can agree, you can disagree with this man's politics, but he's a genius, right? This man's a genius. If you actually look at this man's accomplishment, most people in the world have not actually accomplished the things he's actually accomplished. Like, I'm talking about his real life scientific accomplishments, right? Listen to the average black nigga talk about Ben Carson. The average black person, oh, that nigga's a sellout, he's a coon, like, these niggas are stupid, right? So it's like, again, when you realize that the shit black people glorify, like, that should be somebody, I don't care if you agree with his politics or not, you should elevate that man as black excellence, right? As a man who went against the grain, right? As a man who actually, like, he literally made scientific discoveries. What have you niggas done, right? But guess what? Black folks are gonna be the first one to drag him. They're gonna be the first ones to drag him. Like, I don't listen, politically, I don't like Obama, right? But if you ask most people who know me, Obama, I'm always giving Obama credit, right? That man is one of the best orators in the world. Got a beautiful family, virtually no scandals, right, etc. I can look at that man and uplift him as black excellence, even if I don't agree with his politics and how he moved. But the average black person, when you listen to how they talk, they're gonna elevate King Von before they elevate Ben Carson. They're gonna elevate a fucking serial killer before they actually elevate Ben Carson. That's how dumb these niggas are.
King
That's how
Von was
stupid they are.
in entertainment. I don't think the average black person knows all about Ben Carson like that. And if they do call him a coon,
You're proving my point.
All they've heard.
You're proving my point.
Because all they've heard.
You're proving my point.
Clips.
You're proving my
So
point.
where
Why do they not know about him? Why do they not know about him? He's virtually a genius.
Because he's not famous.
I'll tell you what black folks don't value. It's not family.
He's not famous. He's not on TV like that.
It's education.
How would I know about Ben Carson? Like, where would I pick that up?
Number one thing that black folks that don't value for the last 50 years, believe it or not, is education. Because over the last 50 years, I watch us and the Jews at the same level back in the 70s to now they own everything and now we're crying for shit. Because back in the 70s, we had just as many black doctors, black lawyers, accountants, professionals. Over the next 50 years, we went to entertainment and sports while they stayed the course.
To be fair, if you actually look up how many surgeons we have, neurosurgeons, anesthesiologists, all of these professions, we actually have a low number of them. It's not a lot, forget race. Most people are not in these fields of value and importance.
Yeah, but again, like he just said, black
represented if you look into those fields.
But Gary just said it. What we was known for was exactly what he was talking about. We are gifted with our hands. We are gifted with doing surgeries.
No. What he's talking about is when what he's talking about, there's accuracy to it. He's talking about if you look at a picture, let's say in the 1910s and 20s and stuff, and when we had to have our own community, we had doctors, lawyers, everything that they had, we had it too. There was no discrepancy. We could match them point for point, is what he's saying. And
up to the 70s. No, you don't get.
I get it.
You don't got to go back to 1910s. I'm talking in the 70s.
A visual
yeah, point. I mean, dude, it was so many. Like, it was so much. Especially a lot of the inventions that's going on today was really created around.
Now the problem when you highlight the 60s, 70s, and all the 50s and all that stuff, and up until the point, we know what happened in the 80s. We know what happened in the 90s, and we know that there were things that done intentionally. Now, mind you, I'm not an excuse maker. I'm identifying that if I put a roadblock in front of somebody and I'm very good at it, I'm probably going to be successful at putting a roadblock in front of this. So we have to acknowledge that just historically, that things did exist to prevent progression for certain groups. You know me, I'm not an excuse maker, but if they're acknowledging that redlining exists and banks did this, and that, and all this stuff, and it actually worked, you have to acknowledge that they had the process of fighting.
Okay, but Aaron, remember, and hold on 1 second here, Trucker Yale. When a lot of people talking about Black Americans, they just seem to talk about the ones from the South with the red line and the Jim Crow. How about the rest of Black America?
the majority of black people are where?
In the South.
All over America.
No, the
Because it's like
majority of
when
black
they
people
talked
live in the
about,
South.
hold on.
He said the majority.
The majority, yes, they were down south.
Yeah, so then that
That
applies. So then it applies.
is okay. My
Because
bad.
if we're just talking in generalities. Like Aaron is right. Aaron is right about that. But Aaron, check this out, bro. Check this out, right? This is how much black people lie, right? So I just checked the comments. People were like, yo, black people they only call Ben Carson a coon because of his policies, not because of his accomplishments. That's my point, nigga. Listen. This is what I'm saying, right? I've had a dude almost want to throw hands with me because I said fuck King Von. Literally, like niggas wanted to throw hands with me because I said fuck King Von, right? But then how many times? Tell me how many times you've ever seen black people highlight Ben Carson as black excellence? Black people who are not black conservatives. Name me one instance of that. You've never seen it. You've never
Most
seen
people
it.
don't even know who Ben
Y'all are
Carson
liars.
is.
This is what I'm saying. Hold up. This is what I'm saying. Y'all are fucking liars, right? The thing is that you guys, black culture does not value excellence. That's just a fact. Every excellent black person you meet, damn near every excellent black person you meet in corporate America, etc., they all have the worst experience with black people. They all like across the board. It's just there's usually some fucked up experience because they were excellent, because they chose to go against the grain, because they chose to go against the nigga shit. Y'all are liars. Y'all are fucking liars.
No, that's not true. But I want you guys to give my daddy flowers, even though he's a random nobody that nobody knows. I want y'all to praise my father and give him flowers because he was an aerospace engineer. See, y'all niggas,
Your father's not Ben Carson.
y'all
Your
niggas
father's not
go
Ben
ahead.
Carson though.
Y'all niggas go ahead and keep on contributing to black culture being trash because you guys don't respect excellence either.
We never said we didn't. We just know a lot of people.
See, that's my point. Because the people who are respected are randoms, not on TV. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want to go ahead,
okay.
So basically, what you're trying to tell him is what Kylie Bev is trying to say is her dad.
Aaron, please tell her what we was. We was gangs. We was all gangs. All of us. We was gangs.
And not only was he a king, he also helped me get to the end of the show. I appreciate you guys for coming through to the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I try to put this show together last minute because the Team Fatty put the pressure on me. But shout out to him. Happy B-Day to Team Fatty. When you leave this show, this is what I want you to know. If they dare try to tell you a man need to be making $100K to have a family, that's the requirement to be a man. I want you to let them know if you got $100K, drop them draws. That's the requirement for you. I don't want to hear you ain't my type, you don't look good, drop them. That's our requirement. We got to get that $100K. That's your requirement. Drop them. It is what it is, or leave it up to choice. Let her get with a broke guy if she chooses to be. Let her get with an old guy if she chooses to be. Let people have their choices or drop them draws. Second point, most important point, when you get into these arguments about tradition, if a woman tell you, I want to get married, just let her know this. And most importantly, make sure are you listening? Let her know this. I hope your family got the bag for the wedding because they paying. And with that, I will see you on the next show.